All right, welcome everybody. We are in session 3, episode 3. If you remember last time in the Lost Mine of Phandelver, we made our way south on the high road after dealing with this strange rat man that you had encountered inside of Neverwinter. You had finished up with that situation. In the hero of the story was actually the villain, in that weird imp creature decided that they didn't want you to interact with that rat man. And so when you went to flee,
Yeah, he was letting us go.
yeah, the imp was like, nope, and he killed his own companion. So that was a strange ending to a brief encounter. But all's well that ends well, I suppose. So you made your way back to Malcolm's and rested, which was great. And the next day, you have your bundle of goods that you were going to take south. You took those south along the high road. You took a couple of days getting down there with a few minor stops, but for the most part, pretty much uneventful. And early the next day, it was started to rain, and you started to make your way down the Triboar Trail, and you were suddenly ambushed when you found 2 dead horses. The horses were the same as Sildar and Gundren. So you were in a pretty hard combat with these goblins at first when some of you were badly injured. However, Hemo, the brave Hemo that he was, ran forward with an arrow in his face and killed those 2 goblins. So Hemo, you're going to be awarded inspiration.
Sweet.
Now, so you are granted inspiration for that great brave running up the hill with an arrow in your face. So you can use that anytime. You can get and inspiration allows you to get advantage on one roll. So you can spend that anytime.
So Hemo's got inspiration, but also a very, very he now even when he heals, he's gonna have a huge like puncture scar in the side of his face. On the right side, I suppose, because that's where he took the arrow from.
Yeah.
So he's not quite as pretty as he was when he started at.
Well, those marks
that might have been debatable.
Those marks can make you look even more badass. People, you don't have to be beautiful.
Very rugged.
Waif has a thing for you already. All right.
So doesn't like it.
Also, you've noticed that Gundren's saddlebag was empty and was most likely ripped from him or ripped from the horse and was gone. You notice footsteps when one of the goblins got away. You notice footfalls, a path that leads deeper into the woods. You also notice some human footprints. Most likely these footprints were being pushed around or shoved around. So that's where you ended with. In the light rain, we have decided as a group that you're going to be putting the cart away to stow it so that nobody can get to find your cart, and you're going to go off into the woods.
Follow these tracks.
Correct. However, Flander, who the character is being as an NPC today because we are actually missing Graham. We miss you, bud. He has other things going on today. He is performing this weekend. So yeah, he's out doing a performance.
Our bard is out performing.
The bard's out performing.
Look at that.
Since Flander is going to be out today, Flander says to the group that
they'll just stay and watch the horses.
Yep, that's exactly what he's going to do. So he's gonna sit back there and make sure that nobody takes the supplies. He's afraid that somebody's going to run off with him.
You stay here and make sure they don't leave.
So
all right, we'll come with you.
In the meantime, with one PC going away, we get a whole brand new PC adding our group. So we get to add our new friend Dave, who is our old friend but missed the first couple of adventures. So he's going to start off today. So say hello, Dave.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Hello,
Dave.
So Dave is going to be playing a new character that the PCs are going to join up with. So while the PCs are finishing up with their hiding of the cart, we're going to start with his new PC, Colin. Dave, why don't you introduce us to Colin? Give us a little idea of what he is and who he is and all that kind of great stuff.
Colin is a city born. He might be from Neverwinter Nights. He's been trained. Most of his own life has been spent leading him towards a cartographer's guild. And so he's kind of got ink stained kind of hands, kind of tends to squint a little bit. Maybe his vision isn't as well. He's probably in his late 20s, brown hair, clean shaven, and simply because that's kind of how he does it. He might have a couple days of scruff. Wears relatively nice clothes, probably befitting of a very low member of the guild. And you would probably see him driving a small cart pulled by kind of a sway-backed old nag by the name of Bessie that he talks to almost as if it's a person. Other than that, he's just got a little backpack with him, a few other things. So that's
Perfect.
pretty much Colin.
So Colin has been on the trail on the high road for the last several days. He has left Neverwinter and has a problem he needs to solve. He's received a letter recently, a letter from an old family friend, the Dendrar. The Dendrar family, which are in a small town called Phandelver, has sent Colin a letter. Myrna Dendrar, which is the wife of the family, append you a letter asking for your help. They're having problems with brigands. Okay. And she had mentioned in a brief letter that she fears for the safety of her family. And she's asked you to come to Phandelver to help her in your quest to have any excuse you can to map the road and to see what's out there. You thought this was a great opportunity you weren't sure if what you're gonna do with a couple brigands, but you said, I'm gonna go help my old family friend. And so you've left Neverwinter a few days ago and made your way down to the high road. Okay. And I will show you what that map looks like so that we're all on the same page. Oh, I gotta move that over this way. I forget. So you can see that we are on the map here. Right. And you can see you started off in Neverwinter at the top there, and you've essentially made your way down to the south.
Okay.
Have we turned down the Triboar Trail yet?
Yes, you have. You guys are down the Triboar Trail about 4 to 5 miles down the Triboar Trail. So and so you're trying to make your way to find your friend in Phandelver, which you can see on the map. Okay. You are currently, and I'll close this up so I can get to this part. Right about here, Dave. If you can see on the map, you'll see on your map. You should see it glowing. Okay, so you're going down the Triboar Trail, and one of the problems that as you are traveling is it's beginning to lightly rain.
Okay.
So it's you kind of bundled up a little bit.
I'll pull up my hood up over myself a little bit.
And because of that, the world has become muffled. You know how it is when the rain hits and it's very difficult. Sure. And the rain's hitting. You hear the rain rustling on the leaves as it's going, and as your horse is going, it's finding small puddles and it's piddle paddling through the horses and your cart's running, and you get the steady feeling. You can almost hear the wagon wheels as the loudest thing that it's happening right now. And you hear the haze, the white noise of the rain.
Okay. Colin will double check just to make sure that his scrolls and his pack and things like that are dry and kind of make sure. But other than that, he pretty much kind of keeps his hands on the reins and just kind of keeps Bessie, traveling, probably keeps her in the middle of the road because there's probably less ruts and things like that might be, break a wheel or twist a twister. So
the Triboar Trail that you're on is narrowed. You were once on the high road, which was this massively big road, and it was paved. It was well put together.
This is kind of like a earthen.
Yeah, now you're basically on an earthen track, which basically is big enough for 2 wagons. And you like you said, you're probably in the middle where it's the highest ground where the least amount of rain is pooling up. as you do so, you are suddenly distracted. I want you to give me a perception roll because you're kind of looking around as you said as you're going.
Okay. Yep.
If you
Okay.
hover over the 13, you can see what the details are. So it was a 12 was the roll plus your 1 from your wisdom.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So you have a 13. Okay. You see ahead of you something rustling and stepping out of the woods.
Okay.
The kind of the light woods that you're in.
I'll let Bessie just kind of continue along for right now. It could be an animal or a farmer, something like that. So Colin's not going to approach this if it's something aggressive. He's just going to kind of keep moving on.
All right. You notice that this thing, you're not sure if it's aggressive or not, but it might be a little frightened. You see a goblinoid creature coming stambling out of the woods. It has a bow in its hand, and you see it looking back behind him. And it stops and it runs into the middle of it stops quickly, looks back into the woods, and then it runs out in the middle of the road and turns and looks at you and kind of gives you a kind of turn to look like. It looks at you like, what are you doing here? It's not a surprise to see you.
Okay. I'll try the common tongue, the local dialect.
All right. You're going to try to speak to it.
Sure.
All right. It kind of squints at you and kind of gives you
It's confused.
Yeah. And then it suddenly, as if it hears something, looks up the trail where you're heading toward. It kind of snaps its head back to look back at the trail where the path you're going to, and then runs back into the woods.
Okay. That's got me a little nervous. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast the spell Mage Armor on myself
Sure.
to armor myself.
All right. You are now armored. How long does Mage Armor last for?
That's a good question.
In the
Over
character
here.
sheet, Dave.
8 hours.
Oh, that's perfect. As I say, in your character sheet, it should have a little info button next to spells, but
Oh.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, because we actually paid for all the player's handbook and everything, all the information will be on Roll20, but I prefer like you do to read the book. It just seems more. It's because we're old people.
Yeah. Old and we're used to using the books.
We like to use this thing called paper. All right.
I'm
So-
gonna
Back in
look
my
up
day.
if there's a way to turn it on so you get the armor class boosted.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So you go ahead and cast your spell, and
cast it.
then perfect.
Yep.
Your spell, you hit the spell. What does it look like when you wast it? What's the effect that you see on your body?
If anybody would see one when it's cast, they would probably see some like motes of kind of like light, kind of basically stream around all of Colin's body, and then they just kind of disappear.
Yeah, they kind of swirl away.
Right.
Cool.
And basically it's my armor class is 13 plus my dex modifier.
All right. At this point, I'm going to have the other PCs who are now putting the card away. I want all of you to make perception rolls.
I got a 6.
Anybody get more than 10?
15.
There we go.
All right. So Hemo and Finis, you're kind of helping out with the putting the cart away. When both of you hear kind of a bang of a horse, or like, you have a horse or a donkey?
I think it's a donkey.
Donkey,
Maybe it's
okay.
a horse.
You hear
It's female.
you hear the female. Yeah, you rolled really well. So you roll. It's a female. Her cousin's name is Floyd, and she eats oats. I'm teasing. I know. So, but you hear this kind of like this kind of, and you hear some footfalls padding in the wet ground, and just around the bend from where you're at.
Is that kind of in the direction that
It's going
that
away.
Oh, it's a
the
mule.
goblin ran towards?
It's coming
That one
yeah,
that got away?
it's you never saw which way the goblin ran. It ran into the woods and was lost. But this is coming from the same way you came from, as if somebody is following up behind you.
Oh,
Mhm. Well, maybe we should warn them before we go chasing our trail.
yeah, this sounds like it might be a trap. I don't know. Do goblins even do that sort of thing?
I don't know if they're terribly bright, but well, let's check it out anyway.
You first. I've already been shot in the face once today.
That's fair. And Finis will kind of get his gear. He's got his warhammer in his hand. He'll start walking down the trail. towards the source of the noise.
Okay, so as you can see now with the new map, the rest of your group is putting away this wagon here, trying to hide it, and you hear some pitter patter of this horse and then something coming up the trail from this direction.
I'll
what
kind
do you
of
guys-
whisper off to Gashar to say, keep an eye out from the ridge. I'll approach from the road.
What do you hear?
Somebody's approaching.
Right,
And my
he'll
fingers
try
and
to
my
hide it.
thumbs. Something like
Is there enough grass up on the top of this hill for Hemo to like crouch and be hidden?
You can try to hide for sure. It's not a lot of grass, but 6 to 9 inches of grass you can, if you crouch low enough, you can get, but it's wet. I'm just gonna let you know you're gonna get drenched. You're already kind of wet.
Well, it's still
That's what
raining,
she
right?
said.
Yeah.
Gashar just sort of tries to like crouch walk over through the grass. He gets 5 stealth.
Okay.
I think
He's really
maybe
good at
then
this.
I think maybe then Hemo's gonna stick to the tree line. He's gonna draw 2 daggers and stick to the tree line.
Okay, so
and,
Hemo goes
try
into
to approach
line.
the sound.
Dave,
Mhm.
as you're coming around the bend here, your Colin is sitting around here. You see this weird dragon-like creature slipping over the woods. It stumbles a little, picks itself up, crouches a little bit in the woods, stumbles a little bit, picks itself up, and crunches down. You can also see that it's crunching down next to 2 bodies that are laying up on top of the ridge line there. This ridge line is 10 feet tall. It's not very steep, so you could actually walk right up it. But you see this creature kind of crunch down.
Do I think that maybe he's going to eat these bodies?
You're not sure, but you guess that this is probably not a goblin. You're thinking that this is a dragonborn.
Okay. I probably would have encountered Dragonborn before in Neverwinter.
There are some there, yes.
And there might even be some in the guild. I don't know. But I also know that I'm supposed to be looking out for brigands.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of a little concerned. So what I'll do is I'll rein the horse. I'll pull back on Bessie's reins and kind of slow her down and stop.
Okay. The horse stops.
I see them, right?
Yeah.
the
And
road.
and
I'm looking
he
right
is
at you. guys.
looking right
But
at
I'm
you
hiding.
as well.
I'm crouching down.
You can see that he pretty much he sees you and he pulls the horse to us.
I hide better when if he sees me. I'm just watching him.
He's
Mhm.
hiding better. You see him crunching. He just kind of you see he's behind the body and he just goes
Right.
staring
Well,
right
there's
at
not
you.
probably much to hide behind with a goblin there. So
No.
Completely unhidden, but he really
Rein your
thinks
horse
he
and you
is.
come to a stop.
he's got a little kind of like a almost it's this very small cart, kind of like the type that you'd see in like a town that people would use for moving, be it apples or potatoes or something like that, around very small. And there's kind of like just a very tiny little seat area, and that's where he's at, sitting on it. He's got like a little bag. It looks like maybe provisions and stuff like that.
Do you have any weapons on you visible right now?
He has a knife, and it looks more like a tool than anything else.
utilitarian. Then.
Yeah.
Fair.
I'm going to
Hemo will whisper to Geshar, I think he sees you.
Gashar will stand up. He'll have his quarterstaff and he puts it in front of him like this, and he sort of gets a stance. He says, "You there? What is your name?"
Colin kind of looks. He says, "I'm just a traveler on the road, though I've been told that there are brigands thereabout.
I look down at the goblins. and say,
Brigands and bandits."
Well, I believe we encountered some ourselves. And he'll kick the goblin off of the ridge.
It literally goes
It
rolling
rolls.
down the hill. It has nothing on it because its bow and stuff has all been taken.
This road is impassable right now. You might as well bring your horse up. Although I don't know if he'll like there's 2 dead horses over there. You may see them around the corner.
So you
You
killed
see
them?
Hmm.
Finnis start to walk up.
They attacked us. They
The
died.
horses.
No, they attacked our employer. We're going to head up the trail in a moment. This road is not safe right now.
All right. Colin just kind of holds back a little bit.
Wave steps out from the bush.
All right, you
It's
see a
just
demon
sitting-
child emerge from the.
So she has,
Demon child and a
she has black and red mottled skin and flame red hair.
Okay.
tiny horns starting to grow out of her head.
Maybe like a tiefling.
It is a
Very
tiefling,
much
yeah.
like a tiefling.
Yeah, and she's a very small, young tiefling.
Okay.
But a waif of a
You've
girl.
of course seen these tieflings before, so you're not
Right.
necessarily shocked or anything.
But I've probably also heard that, they don't sometimes get along so well with the rest of society, and they might be the type that turns to brigandage.
It could, yeah.
So,
And she does have flames ready.
Oh, you're gonna prepare a spell to throw?
Yeah, I'm always ready to cast my Eldritch Blast. I'm not stupid.
Okay. I never said you were. I apologize. My mistake.
We were just attacked.
That's true.
This could be their leader. Who knows?
Yeah.
Are you affiliated with these goblins?
Do you have your union card?
I'm a cartographer from Neverwinter,
That is where we are from.
and I'm heading to Phandelver to talk to some friends.
That is where we were going. But as I mentioned, our employer was attacked. We think he's still alive. We intend to go find him.
So describe Connor.
He is I put like young towards his late 20s, early 30s. He's a fair skinned, kind of looks like somebody who probably doesn't spend a lot of time outside, so he could probably sunburn probably pretty easy. But he's got nicely dressed clothes. He's probably from like a merchant class. I would say probably as far away as you are, you probably don't notice that his fingers are probably a little bit ink stained, things like that. He doesn't appear to be very muscular or anything like
He's
that.
a slight guy.
Yeah, he's slightly built.
So she leans over to Finnis. He does not look like he could be leader of this group. He's too
I
clean.
don't think so. He looks a little
The
bit
flames
like
go
a
out.
weed.
Okay.
Well,
Well-
sir, you may have more troubles on the way if you are headed towards Phandelver.
Vandalin, right?
Phandelin.
Why do you think these goblins are the cause of problems here?
Clearly.
Do you not see the dead horses?
Oh, I think they're probably
Hemo,
too far down the road
Oh.
for me to see for right now.
Yeah, he
Hemo,
put
I
it
guess,
on.
shows himself now too. He was quite aware he's the most brigand, maybe the most brigand-looking guy in the
I do not
squad
think-
here.
You do not hold a candle to me.
What
My
are you
point.
are you saying? I don't look like a brigand? I've got like 6 different blades on me at any given. Anyways, yeah, yeah. We think the goblins could be more of a problem. There was at least one that got away.
Our cart is parked further up the road and to the left.
Okay, I can probably see it from where I'm at.
No, it is hidden.
Hopefully
Greatly.
not.
So Colin hears a
If
strange
you can, we did something
man,
wrong.
elf, I should say, the strange high elf call. He's wielding 2 weapons, and he says that one of the goblins got away.
I saw it come back out, and I'll point the direction it went.
What?
Where'd he
I-
go? I
I
want
point the direction.
I
it
got
went.
No way.
I got a knife with his name on it.
So it's somewhere up the trail, probably another 30 or 40 yards up the trail. That's where he'll tell you he came from. So it might be difficult to find him in the rain.
It might not be important. I think we should try to find Gundren. Maybe not worry about the goblin anymore.
We have tracks to follow.
All right.
Well, friend, are you capable of defending yourself if there were to be more attackers on the road?
Oh yes,
You look very squishy.
squishy.
Look who's talking. I like nudge wave.
Perhaps we should move the dead horses out of the road.
I have armor. I have sword. I have crossbow. I have flames coming from my hands.
But you are very small.
Gishar will go do that.
But
He'll go
mighty.
he'll go grab Flander and he'll call it to who's the fighter? Finnis?
Hemo,
Hemo?
that is me.
I guess right next to Gishar. He says, "Hey, would you help me move the horses?"
The ground trembles slightly.
Is that a yes or a no, Wave?
So we all kind of walk away from where you are.
Okay.
Explicitly that sort of confrontation. We walk back and we're actually moving. You might not be able to see the horses from the exact spot you're at, but we basically go away from you and down the hill. We claim we're moving horses out of the way.
All right,
Okay.
Colin, what is your objective? Are you going to go forward? Are you going
I'm going to move forward.
to so go ahead and pick your character up and move him down the road as far as you want to?
You might be able to see more goblins on the ridge here as well that were killed earlier.
So you see his horse, his mule and cart come around the corner, and you can see these dead horses in the middle of the road here. All they have arrow fletchings on them, as if they were shot probably from the ridge line. You're pretty.
I mean, from the art, they look pretty peppered.
Let's slide the horses into the bushes here.
All right, you can pick the horses up. It's going to take a fair amount of time. Dead horses are not light.
Oh, well, that's why I grabbed Flander and
Yeah, Hemo can help too.
And this is pretty strong.
Yep.
Wave will not dirty her hands.
Well, actually, Hemo's a dex-based fighter because of my inability to play meta classes.
mostly here, but Gashar does have a little bit better strength. He's got a +1. No, +2. +2.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It was like plus
Help
4
with that.
strength.
-1. You be carrying me.
Maybe you should try pulling on the horse then the other direction, which would give us a negative bonus that direction.
That would be yes.
I would guess that probably the moisture would probably help things to slide a little bit.
It's
And our
muddy.
Yeah, you're gonna help your feet tracks and slide too.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and move the horses. It takes you more than just a second. It takes a little bit of
Sure.
rolling and huffing to get these things moved. They are way more heavy than you were actually probably guessing they would
It's
be.
the rain. I'm assuming the rain's getting a little harder.
It is, but also horses are very heavy.
It's not-
So
Wave has a cloak of. Why are we wasting our time with this stupid thing? We are going to lose our tracks. This is not our problem.
It is blocking.
That is not our
Sir,
problem.
What was your name? Colin, I think you said? You
Colin.
said you were a cartographer, correct?
I am.
Do you have any maps of the area by any chance?
I would probably imagine that I'm probably working on a map. or
yeah, you're probably
use-
doing a map now, but probably nothing of the Triboar Trail. So you probably have a map of the high road and a lot of the stops that along the coastal line.
Mhm.
I can
So-
imagine you like jotting notes.
Yeah, I've got pens,
sketches
so
of
I
where
could
you're going.
possibly, like I might have marked off. I said I can show you where we're approximately at.
No, you wouldn't have any markings of any landmarks or anything in the area.
I don't think so.
If you recall, though, Gundren did leave you a map that took you to Phandelver, so you do have that. You do know that Phandelver is ahead of you, but of course, you don't know what's going to happen if you leave your dwarven and possible elven employers here.
That would be bad. Hey, show.
I guess
why don't you show
Finis
the
was just
cartographer
curious to know
our map?
if we knew of any locations of caves or anything nearby where that would be known on a map.
No, your maps, neither of your maps show those. Of course, not oftentimes maps don't show the local area that detailed unless you're want to be from that area. Like a map of a town may show the town, but most other maps are just going to show a dot.
Mm.
So yeah, you're nothing shows any marks on here that are well known. There are, of course, in Faerun, well-known ruins and things like that people would have on a map, similar to how we would have marked ruins that we know very well.
Okay.
Here they be dragons.
Correct.
Well, we were just attacked out of the blue by these goblins. I imagine.
I think he was out of the woods.
Hemo's been around for a while. He's 170 years old. Would he know of any like more famous ruins around here? Something, maybe we can't see it from here or don't know where it would be, but
What you do know from the nearby area is for me. Some of the things that are coming, first of all, north of Neverwinter, there's Mount Hotanau, and that mountain erupted about 50 years ago, spewing lava and laying waste to a lot of the area, including Neverwinter and a bunch of areas around it. One of the places that affected was a place called Thunder Tree, and Thunder Tree is just east of Neverwinter, where down if you follow the river. So that place has fallen into ruin. You have heard of Thunder Tree several times, but it's very far up the trail. I mean, it's almost back to where you came from. It's a day and a half to 2 days from where you are at. So you do know about that. Of course, to the south along the high road is the city or the town of Leilon, Leilon. But that's ways away from you. Immediately here nearby, you don't know of any famous landmarks or famous.
Are you showing us a different map?
No, I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just describing it to you. None of that is on this map.
Perfect.
None of that. But you do know that there was a small town that was up the Triboar Trail that many years ago fell into ruin, and it's called Connieberry. And a long time ago, Triboar Trail was once called the Connie Trail. You just know this from history. But other than that, nothing that stands out to you as being like an obvious ruin. Where I remember being in England when I was in central England, there was a church that had been burnt out and you just had like 2.5 walls fragments from ages ago, and everybody in the town knew it. You know, it just was the place. And so when I was there, I was asking around, they pointed me there, and you could go and walk amongst the ruins and things like that, because everyone in the town would know. So maybe someone from Phandelver might know of areas that are close by, but in the meantime, you don't know. I guess it's going to take you a good part of the rest of the day to get to Phandelver and then get back if you need to find places. You don't know if what's going to happen if you leave these poor souls.
Oh, so it's not like this Connieberry is on the Triboar Trail on the way to Phandelver?
No, it's ways away.
Okay.
It's quite a ways away. So both the Thunder Tree and Connieberry are quite a ways away. So Thunder Tree is way to the north, and Connieberry is way to the east on the Triboar Trail. So
Okay.
You're actually both closer to Phandelver right now, and you're even more close to these tracks because they're very fresh. So you know wherever they took off, and it's in the rain, so they're probably not going to be going. They're probably not that far away.
Hemo, I guess, gets up and goes, well, I don't know. There's probably nowhere for them to hide except caves or a tree. I think we're going to have to just chase them through the woods.
Well, let's get tracking before we lose the trail.
So that's what I
Um,
said. Horses, not that problem. But
All right.
they're wasting our
Colin,
time.
You're traveling alone on the road right now. Might be dangerous. We were attacked out of the blue, even at our size. You might be wise to also park your cart next to ours and join us. Strength in numbers.
There's a bard that's sitting on top of the cart. He's kind of playing his lute under the branches, kind of protected from the rain. He's plucking on his lute, and he looks up and he's like, well, I'll watch your cart for you. Don't feel nothing will happen to it.
Does he look like a trustworthy kind of guy?
He does. He's actually one of the most friendly faces that you've seen on the road in a long time. Definitely more friendly than the rest of the lot. This lot, he seems fairly on his face. So he seems polite enough and earnest enough that if you're going to leave it anywhere, this person's in there. Also, you know,
also sense motive.
Yep.
Let's try it. Let's do a sense motive.
Perfect.
To
It's insight.
Oh yeah.
journal.
Yeah, it takes a little getting used to.
All right, so you
21.
make
Roll 20s.
okay. So Dave, so go ahead and make an insight roll.
Cool,
What do you get?
but it can be clunky.
You rolled it.
Dave,
21.
Okay, you got a 21 on your insight. Okay, after you did this bard, he seems like a very righteous and person. He has a good heart, and you believe that he will do his best to guard your cart.
He's
In
a
fact, he's
righteous
sitting
fool.
on a bunch of supplies, which are probably way more valuable than your
Yeah.
cart as it is.
Sure, I'm gonna guess the same too. So what I'll do is I'll take and bring my cart over. Now his cart is,
Where that red box is,
yeah.
that's where he is. And then you can just say you moved your cart there. That's fine.
I'll move my cart there.
Perfect. Oops.
That's basically the direction we're gonna go.
Yep.
Up into the woods there.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll say you moved your cart there. All right. So the group of you are going to gather and head into the woods. What I want you to do is just starting at about here, and you just kind of put yourself in what you consider to be the marching order.
Does anybody have tracking?
Finis has trained survival, so
Hemo's gonna, I think, go behind Finis, or as he'll go second. He doesn't know he's a terrible tracker, but he wants to get back at these goblins.
I got a 21 survival
Ooh.
Perfect.
to follow the trail.
Okay, cool. So this will be the order you're in, and I see that Waif, you're going to be walking in the woods on the side of them.
Yes, and I hide it. I have a
Okay.
Stealth of 20.
So if you're walking with stealth, you're moving at a slower speed. Is that okay with everybody else?
I have to track anyway, so I'm assuming I'm not.
But
going
I'm
next.
assuming they are taking
Work.
time.
Works for me. Just confirming. Perfect. Okay.
If they need to move faster, I will no longer hide.
All right. You start tracking down the trail, and the inside of the woods, it is less wet, moist, because the rain is so light coming down. The trees sort of gather up all the wet and the rain and puddle it into more direct funnels, so that you're sort of dancing amongst blots of wet instead of a consistent rain. You're actually mostly able to keep dry as you dart throughout this path. You can see that the path that these goblins have taken are it's pretty easy to follow. They've probably used this path many times. So Finis, you can tell that this goblins have been going up and down. They've probably been hitting people on this area back and forth for a while.
And if they're pushing along a prisoner, they're not. The prisoner's certainly not
Correct.
tagging their steps.
Yeah.
We're headed north, right?
Yes, you're heading north by northeast.
Go no to Alaska.
All right. As you move, Finis, you walk and suddenly stop when you notice a trip trap in front of you, literally on the road. It's strewn across the road. It's rather crudely done. So you kind of caught it easily enough, but you can see a branch that is like 6 inches off the ground, kind of arched a little bit. And you notice very quickly that this is attached to some kind of a snaring device.
I'll stop and I'll alert everybody. Like, it
All
looks
right.
like they planned for us. I'll point out the trap.
Yeah, you can see it easy enough. You could walk around it if you kind of walk around the wooded area, or you can try to disarm it, or you can try to trip it. But it's up to you.
I think Finis would grab a branch and try to like poke and trip the snare.
All right, you hit it and it goes off and it lifts off the ground and hoists nothing into the air. It's like the rope just goes and hoists nothing and it's dancing there, whipping around. So you can
Return
see-
of the Jedi. Net.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
maybe you can tell the goblins you're their deity, and then you just got to be able to levitate them. All right.
That'll work.
Yashar says,
Gotta work,
well
right?
done.
All right. Anything else you're gonna do once you've done that?
We'll push forward.
All right. You move around forward. You can see the tracks still lead forward. The tracks are not all the tracks here are fresh. You can see lots of older tracks and just a few newer tracks. You see the tracks coming toward you where you were coming from, but you don't see fresh tracks leading back into the woods. That's probably because you killed almost all the people who had
Perfect.
all the creatures that had come into the woods.
Is this trail like wider? I guess I'm wondering, would this trail have been used for the It seems like this was an ambush spot for these goblins. Have they hauled? Do we see evidence of them hauling anything else, or
Yes.
maybe even our employer?
You can look for evidence if you want to give me an investigation roll.
Yeah. Oh man, I rolled a 1, so that's a 3.
Okay. You don't really have any other clues. In fact, you're sort of more
I
worried
think we're
about
going the wrong way.
you're more worried about staying out of the rain. As you look, the rain kind of slaps you in the side of the temple a couple times. You keep looking up, and after a while, you decide to kind of just give up on it
You poke your eye with a stick.
with the
Ow.
snare stick. Okay. All right. I need at this point, we can go back to my notes here. All right, Finis, as you're walking forward, you can see up ahead of you the signs of the hip and shoulder of a humanoid, medium-sized creature laying off to the side of the woods to the north of you.
So
Like a body.
Yeah, well, you see something laying off it's on its side. I mean, it's a body, whether they're trying to hide this to ambush you or what. You can see something there.
I'll stop the party.
Probably wearing studded leather armor.
Ooh. I
Hmm.
mean, I don't necessarily want to kill a man for his armor, but that would be a AC boost.
I'll tell Waif to see if you can get an angle around the side, stay hidden in the bushes, and then Finis will walk up towards it.
Wait, Hemo says, wait.
What's your
on.
hide? What's your hide roll?
20.
He with his passive, he doesn't quite catch you.
You look around, you don't see that at all.
Hemo tells Finis to wait and summons a spectral hand. He holds out his hand and summons a spectral hand and casts Mage Hand and floats it slowly, dramatically towards the body to tap him on the shoulder when Finis seems ready.
All right, you see this ghostly hand leak into the woods. The body's about 30 feet away from you into the woods. You can kind of see itself off into the woods. But you can clearly see it's like a direct line to where you're at. So you send the body, the hand trailing forward, which I think has a range of 30 feet. I can't remember.
It has a
It-
move speed of 30 feet a turn.
Okay, maybe
Um,
60 feet, but in either way, you can actually go there. You reach it up and it's gonna have a tap onto the body.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tap him on the shoulder with my
Yeah.
Mage Hand.
You tap on the shoulder of the body and nothing happens.
Hmm.
I just look at Finis and shrug, and the Mage Hand kind of follows my movement.
Okay. The mage hand literally is like,
Yeah.
all right,
Okay.
that's what you see. What do you think you want to do about this body that's laying there?
Finis will walk up.
Hemo will join him.
He'll try. He'll take a look and he'll try just spare the dying cantrip. Don't know if
On the
he's
body?
too far gone. Yeah.
All right. Well, as you get close, it's very obvious that this is a body. This is a woman who has been deceased for quite a while, for at
Ooh.
least a 10-day.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it's been quite a while that this body is laying here. As you near the most obvious thing about this body is that it's wearing studded leather armor because it's covering a good part of her. She is laying kind of half on her side. You can see arrows lodged in her thigh and her neck. These look like black shafted arrows.
Oh, were the arrows in the horses similar?
Yes, they are pretty much the exact same.
I wonder what she was doing this far into the woods.
Perhaps maybe one of the riders of the horse.
Feel
Could have
free to-
been.
Who went down with Gundren?
It was
He
just
had to hit
Gundren
that
and
assistant,
Sildar.
right?
Yep, Gundren and Sildar Sildar is a human and Gundren is a dwarf. The two of them left alone, as far as you
And
know.
it wasn't a Sunday.
And
It
it
was the
wasn't a
day
10
before.
day, Yeah.
Yeah, it was yesterday that they left, so they're only a day behind you.
Methinks these little goblins have been keeping themselves busy with this side road here.
They didn't really know what they had on their hands. Hemo's gonna take the studded leather armor.
All right, you roll the body over on its kind of side and starts pulling the studded leather off the body. For being in the weather for a 10-day, it seems in relatively good condition actually. But you also notice that the body has the cloak that's over the over her shoulder has a pendant, and it's the pendant of a blue lion pendant that's on her lapel.
At
And
least it's not a
You think it's worth maybe 4 silver pieces? You're guessing a rough guess if without really looking at it. Also,
Would I
would like-
recognize the symbol?
give me a history roll if you'd like.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got a +4 to that. I got an 11.
I'm gonna look over that as well. Kashar is studied as well.
Okay.
Peeks around the corner and looks
And
over.
I think even though Hemo's stealing from a dead body, I think he's gonna wrap the body up in the cloak, sort of
Okay.
17.
What'd you get, Hemo?
respectfully. Hemo got an 11.
Okay. You're not sure. You actually recognize this. You think you saw the symbol on goods inside of Neverwinter. You went to a shop one time and you just barely recall. You're like, I think I saw this on some goods, some packing goods in Neverwinter. You can't recall exactly where they're from, but you just remember the symbol. You think it might be from some kind of a maybe a guild or maybe a mercantile or something.
Specific brand
Yeah,
name
it's
or
very
not.
vague, but you just like vaguely remember. It's kind of like if you remember just seeing like a symbol from a polo shirt, but you're not really sure where it was from, and you remember just kind of seeing it.
I have seen this before. It was on some goods in Neverwinter. Maybe they will know.
Well, that makes me definitely think these goblins have been looting the road. Maybe a guard looking for lost inventory.
Finis,
Hemo's
you
like
walk-
fitting the armor to himself. Like, then why wouldn't they have taken all this?
Finis, as you walk over.
Oh, I
to
guess
the
they're
body,
small, huh?
As you walk over to the body, you can see the body was overturned and the armor was removed and the cloak was wrapped up. But under the body, half buried from the weight of the fall, is a small vial of liquid.
Ooh. Phineas will pick that up and he'll take a look at it.
All right. In my game, which is slightly different than what you consider the typical D&D game, you're going to be able to make a insight roll of 15 to identify a potion. So if you make a potion if you make a roll of 15, you can identify that potion.
I did not get a 15. I rolled a
All right.
2.
So you kind of look at it. And you're not quite sure what it is yet. You'll
Hmm.
be able to kind of recheck it after every long rest.
Sure, he'll slip
you
that
can-
into his
during a-
pocket.
During a short rest, you can
Useful.
actually examine it as well.
Okay.
Did we ever figure out those two
Hemo
vials?
says, or you
No.
could just chug it.
I have those 2 vials.
Yeah, you do. You see him
Does it
pull the
look
other vial
similar?
out where you recall, oh, I still have those 2 vials.
I guess. Do we know that Waif still has those vials? I don't think we do.
I don't
I
know.
don't
if-
think you knew I took
don't-
them.
Nobody tried to look at her, and nobody's passive was higher than her ability to put them away. So nobody knows that she has them.
Okay. Well, let's push onward. What time of the day is it?
Wait a minute. I'm still hiding though, so never
That's
mind.
fine.
Never mind.
It's still early in the day. It's before lunch.
Okay.
You were only about an hour or so into the travel up the Triboar Trail, about a few miles up the road, and when the rain started, and then you travel a little bit farther, so you probably got about 5 miles down the Triboar Trail when all this happened. So you're thinking it's probably 12 at the latest.
Okay.
It's hard to tell also because of the rain. It's just kind of a hazy day.
Maybe that's why she does not smell as bad.
All right, what are you going to do at this point?
Anybody else opposed to moving forward?
I will collect the brooch if nobody else did. I'll ask around. the
Yeah,
market.
Hemo didn't know what it was. I suppose he would just give it to Geshar if he recognized it.
He'll nod at you and take it, put it in his bag.
Perfect. Are you going to start heading back down the trail?
We should continue.
All right, you return back to the point where you exited, where I'm assuming the rest of the people were waiting on the trail for you to get this body. You see Hemo walking out, tugging down his new armor,
New old armor.
new old armor. He seems to not be opposed to taking armor off a dead body.
Well,
Pretty-
they
pretty
seem kind of
brigandish.
scruffy. So yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Finis, are you going to still continue taking the lead?
Yeah.
All right, Finis, as you turn to start walking on the trail, you take 2 steps when suddenly a pit trap opens up underneath you. Boom. However, because of your high observance and your ability to see beyond your years, you just sort of felt the unevenness and you move your foot back as the pit falls in. You see this 6-foot wide, 10-foot deep pit covered
Jeez.
in loose planks. They're very, very old wood that's just been stacked up there with some brush thrown over the top of it. So you kind of step on it, and it's barely on the edges. So that if you put any weight on it, it just falls in. But you've managed to not fall in. The wood falls down below, and you can see that other than the wood, you see a glint of metal below that.
Does anybody have a way to retrieve that? And he'll point it at that. to the
Might be
party.
sharp.
It's underneath the
Hemo
pile-
summons
pile of
a
wood.
spectral hand and reaches down into the pit to try to grab the shiny metal object with
You
mage
try to
hand.
grab it, but it seems it can't move it. It's just a tug that's not moving it. You think it might be too heavy, and
Yeah.
you can't get a good look at it because it's under the pile of wood.
If I were building this, it might
Hemo shrugs again, dissipates the mage hand.
You're not sure what's down there. The edges don't seem to be that difficult to climb up and down. It's really rough earth, so you can probably climb down it easy enough. It's just the fall.
I bet you it's spikes. There's always spikes at the bottom of these things.
But that one's extra shiny. That's not normal.
I don't know. It's stuck. It's real stuck.
And you said
You
it
want to
wasn't
climb
terribly
down
deep.
there? 10 feet.
How steep is the side?
The sides are not very exceptionally steep. There's a slight grade, so you think you can climb down it with minimal effort.
I do have a rope if you would like a hand.
Finis takes his shield and he like slides down the side on it. Like
Okay.
a sled.
You slide down the sides and you hit the pile of wood. Nothing happens to you. The pile of wood kind of almost explodes when you kind of hit it. It kind of flips on different directions, kind of partially landing on top of you, partially flying to the side. And when you do that, your feet slam into the side of another body.
Ooh.
And what the glint of metal you saw was just the brief part of some metal armor. He
Gnarly,
seems to be
dude.
He seems to be wearing a chainmail shirt.
Hmm.
This is
Hemo.
a human. There's
Look,
also
I haven't had a chance to get better armor than the leathers I perform in. Sue me, he says in his new studded leather armor.
So there's a chain shirt next to this person. Is a shield, a medium shield, and a morning star.
Ooh. Hemo will take we'll try to like gather as much as not Hemo, sorry.
Hey, wait a second.
Finis we'll try to gather as much as he can, like stick the morning star in a belt loop, strap the shield to his back, and he's gonna
Morning
try to
star comes
climb
flipping
back
up.
up.
The shield has an image of a coin on it, and you know from obvious history from Faerun that this is the symbol of the goddess Timora. She's the goddess of luck, also called Lady Luck.
We could all use a little bit more of that.
And on the
I do not know if that
lapel,
works.
on the lapel of this
Not for him.
unfortunate gentleman, you also find yet another blue lion pendant.
He'll also grab that just in case we need run into this faction and need to explain ourselves.
So you've kind of gathered the pendant off from, you've gathered the weapon and the shield sitting on top of the body. You going to do anything else with this unfortunate body down here?
Other than kind of wrap it respectfully, kind of place it in a position.
Wave like appears on
Is
the
it
edge
kind
of the hole.
Stuck down there.
Oh,
There's no, it's just like,
Yeah, literally kind of almost shakes you for a second. You're like, oh,
there's no pouch, there's no bag of gold, there's no nothing.
he'll take a little bit extra time to pat pockets down.
roll me an investigation roll, please.
2.
So moving around,
No, there's nothing.
thankfully the satchel next to on his hip is easily seen once you look for it. And you can see it looks like a small scroll case and a small little bag, a small satchel.
Okay. He'll grab those. He's just stuffing stuff in his pockets and he's going to try to haul it up to everybody. But
No problem. You take those things and bring it up to the surface. Climbing up the sides is easy enough. It doesn't take any check or anything.
all right. He dumps all the stuff on the ground and he's like, anybody need any of these?
Yes, I'll take the second blue lion pendant.
Finis actually grabs that spell scroll case and just starts like smacking it like he's never seen one. He doesn't know how to open it.
Who does this?
Finis.
You don't know how to open a scroll case? Okay.
He doesn't do that kind of stuff.
Hemo will take it from Finis. Come on, that's not
Oh, like you know.
that's not a club. Hemo will open it and try to decipher what the spell is.
All right, you pull the
that
scroll
obvious?
out. It is a scroll of divine nature. Have you the ability to read divine scrolls?
I don't believe so.
I think you do not. So you open it up and you see a bunch of symbols, but you know that this is definitely not an arcane scroll. You've seen arcane scrolls before. This is not it.
What do you have there?
I don't know, some sort of
Colin, you probably
religious
scroll out as well.
thing.
Yeah. But I've also seen the shield and the markings of Tamora, the Lady of Luck, and so he automatically assumes that it's probably a religious thing, and so you see
Like a
that
cleric,
very reluctant
maybe a
to-
cleric fell in the pit.
Most undoubtedly. I'm going to guess that this person was at one time a priest of Timora.
Well,
Kind of unlucky, don't you think?
yeah, Lady Luck didn't stick with her for long.
Maybe she was a sinful priestess. Maybe she was lovely, or he was a handsome priest and flaunted his god's abilities. So
Maybe
Trying
luck
to
just
guess it.
runs out.
Very much so. All right, what are you guys going to do? You have this scroll that you don't know what it is.
you could sell it. Back in Neverwinter, there's several places that would
Good idea.
buy that from you.
Finis,
Sure.
do you use priest scrolls?
I can, yeah.
You can cast.
I guess I'll hand it back to Finis.
Look at the
Can
scroll.
you decipher
What are you
this?
doing?
Okay, you're gonna look at it, Finis.
I'll take a peek.
Yeah, this looks like the type of markings and the directions of scrolls that came from your priesthood in many ways. You recognize this instantly. This is a scroll of continual flame.
Oh, very nice.
Of course. No, yes, we do this all the time back at the parish. Finis, it seems like he's trying to BS you guys.
That's what you see. Also if you open up the satchel, you can see that there is 11 gold pieces in there.
11 gold pieces.
You can divide that up however you
Let's
like.
split it. Might as well.
All right. Why don't
Taking
you get
time
the
out,
extra gold for that shield trick? That was pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay, so you have found these 2 dead bodies. You are free to continue up the trail or to turn back and run in fear. You have many other options.
So far, every human we've encountered has been dead.
I'm just wondering if we should maybe stay off the direct trail just because of all of the traps.
But with the horses, won't that make it extremely difficult?
Oh, you're not with your horses
we're-
now. You're
yeah.
walking up the trail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's why they hid you had to hide the horses.
Oh, I thought he was talking about back on the main road. So, this is the,
This is through the woods following.
Trail almost right now, right?
Yeah, it's the trail. You pretty much think that these goblins most likely use this trail a lot.
Our goblins game.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So no one's taking the chain shirt.
Nah.
Can you not wear heavy or medium armor?
I mean, no, Hemo's a dex-based fighter. He doesn't want to wear medium armor. I think it might actually cause my AC to go down at this point.
Because it will limit
doesn't
your
want it.
class to your dex to 2, I believe.
Yes, yeah. And he's got a +3 to dex, so he's just going to stick with this studded leather.
Perfect.
And he
Alright.
doesn't feel like carrying it to try to hawk it later because he's kind of lazy.
Well, if we come back this way, we can pick it up.
I was going to say, if we could drag it out of the pit, we could put it on my cart.
How does the shield compare to mine? I just have a basic shield.
This is a basic medium shield.
Okay.
So I think it gives you a +2 to your armor class.
Okay.
I don't know what yours is.
Same thing, but I'm just gonna take it anyway because Lady Luck, you know.
Absolutely. What is your deity, your favorite deity that you follow? Goodness.
I don't know if I have picked one.
Why don't you, when you get a moment today, pick what? Why don't you tell me what it is? Okay. All
Sure.
right. Well, you gather your stuff up, and you begin to go in the same direction you were up the trail. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. We press onward towards the goblins who
All right.
Need to-
It isn't
need to get
long.
killed.
You get about maybe 5-6 minutes down the trail past where you were at, and you hear a goblin voice yelling. Still a little distant, but you hear him yelling. Hear it yelling, and another one sort of yell back. And they're in the goblin tongue. Does anybody here speak goblin?
Anybody have the ability to understand goblin?
Nope. Not Hemo.
Okay, so you hear these goblins yelling at each other. And they seem to be not from across a gorge. They seem to be as if people were yelling maybe across. Think about across the distance of the backyards, maybe 30 feet or so. They're just yelling at back and forth, but you can hear it. And they seem pretty close. What are you guys gonna do?
Wave ducks into the woods and hides.
Wave vanishes.
How does it seem like it's really close, or
You think that maybe they're within 50, 60 feet of you, down the trail. It's gloomy and the trail seems to go on forever in the woods, but you think that it could very easily within 10 feet reveal itself into an opening.
all right? Well, Hemo draws both his scimitars and
Do you
I guess
charge blindly?
looks to the rest of the party and says, "Well, that might be them," and we'll try to move quietly
You-
towards the
Do you
screams.
yell Leroy Jenkins before or after
Jenkins.
you run
See how
into
his
the,
like sneak roll goes, and then we'll see.
No, yeah, he's not gonna try to charge in just yet, but he's ready to do it if he needs to.
okay. Finis, you move forward into the woods. You see almost like a curtain. The woods kind of end almost abruptly. Like you're walking, and within a foot or so, it's this thick stuff. And suddenly you realize, well, I'm walking out of the woods. You don't quite walk out of the woods, but you get to the edge, and I'll change the map.
Okay.
All right, you see yourself coming down. You're just coming down past this area down here, if you can see that on the map.
Just there.
And you can see there's a ridge line of a sort of a set of mountains, a side of a hill. It's not like a massive mountain. It's like a rising hill side. So it kind of rises up quickly about 30, 40 feet into the air and then continues at a gradual range going upward. So you've seen this must be some kind of a rising mountain, but it's cut out in the side. And the reason it's probably cut out is it's a ravine. You can see this river kind of running through this area. And it seems to be heading more south. So you're coming up kind of from this direction up here. You'd think if you were to walk down your trail, there might be a river or something, water pool that runs into the Triboar Trail. You're kind of coming up to it. So you're coming up from this area, and you can, as you emerge out, you can see this hill has a gaping opening on the side. And there's a tree line here, but the tree line is fairly thin, and you see a couple of goblins past the tree line. Let me explain what's going on though, as you do. You see, I have to get back to my spot here. You see a goblin that is standing at the foot of the mouth of the cave, and it's a kind of a cutscene, so I won't bother putting him in there for right now.
Was this Finis going first? I thought Hemo
Yes.
was pushing forward a little.
It doesn't matter which one of
Or
you
in-
want to.
in
I thought Finis was. I
Oh,
apologize.
right, yeah.
Okay. But what you see is right at the mouth of the trail here, you can see that there's a goblin, and he I will let me confirm. I think he's a goblin.
Dave, I got your mage armor effect working.
Oh, you
in
did?
your- Yep, at the bottom of your item list.
Yeah.
There's a new item in there, mage armor effect. If you check that, it adds +3 to your armor class. If you want to check it, it takes it back off.
Okay,
Oh,
yes,
okay.
it's a goblin. Okay, you see this goblin, and it is standing up there, and it begins yelling at these other goblins. And nobody here knows how to speak goblin, correct?
Nope.
So the
Nope.
goblin in the pit or in the entrance here yells out, "Marishikrunia, Ji Fandalin Wilsakunjera, Udimurte," and starts yelling. "Conjurido Sal Oxen." So it says. And then you see the goblins crawl back, and they're clicking strange goblin tongue, and they start yelling back and forth at each other. And you see that the goblins seem to call this creature, this thing, Yimik. That's what you kept. So and then you hear specifically words Yimik and Clarg.
I thought I heard oxen in there too.
You did hear the word oxen.
Oh,
And so
You
you
have
hear
some.
him say Yimik and Clark are some names. You hear these things yelling back and forth at each other. All right. At that point, the one goblin disappears back down into this opening where this water is running out, leaving you there. What are you guys going to do?
Well, Finis, noticing that Hemo's kind of trying to sneak up, will try to create a good opening for him. He's just going to walk out, shield and mace in hand, or I guess he's using his warhammer, shield and warhammer in hand.
All right.
Look up across the opening and go, "Hey there, did you take our friends?"
All right. Roll for initiative.
it's a great opening right there. There's an initiative button on the middle of the character sheet as well.
6.
Right in just the word initiative.
Oh, we all do.
All right. Wave, what'd you get?
4.
Gashar,
15.
Colin,
8.14. Isn't
Okay.
that hilarious?
it's 1-4 because of your dexterity.
Okay.
So that means that somebody else who has an 8 point has a higher dexterity would go before you. So it's
Okay.
8. Hemo, what'd you get?
An 11.
Perfect. And Finis?
6.
You literally surprised these as these goblins are kind of they're turning back. They seem to be talking to each other. You walk out there and say those things, and they look and they go, "Rah!" And they reach down, they grab at their bows just as they hear you, meaning that you're going to get around to do something before they even get the chance to take the action here. So we're going to start with Gashar, who's still back in the behind the magic line of doom here.
Yeah, so just below it, basically.
Yeah, so just start there when
There
you want
below-
it.
below by one.
Yeah. So Gashar can start.
Oh, So we just see the 2 right now. I guess how far do I go? I could theoretically run to here actually. They're picking up their bows, they said. You said?
They seem to be scrambling to pick up their bows, which are laying on some rocks next to them. They have actually they have swords, short sword type of things in their belt, but when they see you, they immediately grab down and
Yeah,
start running.
we're far away right now.
Yeah. So what are you going to do?
I think that I'm going to run right up to them.
Which
because I
path
can
are you
do-
gonna run through? Gonna run around to the opening, or are you gonna run
I
through the
suppose
woods?
it'd be hard trees, wouldn't it, right there?
It would be considered difficult terrain to run through that.
So yeah, it would slow me down actually.
Yeah.
That won't work. All right. Well,
The water itself is also considered difficult terrain because it's a good 3 or 4 feet deep. So you're gonna high knee it through it.
and they have partial cover just from the trees themselves, don't they?
Right now, yes, they do. They are considered to have +2 to their armor class shooting through the tree line.
All right. Well, then what I think I'm going to do is run up behind Finis here. Right next to Finis. I'll run right up next to Finis. Throw my token down there.
Boom.
And then use the ruler by accident. And then I've got a. Ooh, actually, no. I have a dart gun. Dart. I have darts.
Nice.
I'm like, is that a blow dart?
No, they're probably the big throwing darts, right? They're like the yard darts, the lawn darts. The
Yeah.
ones that you're carrying-
Jarts.
Yeah, the
I,
ones
I
that
always
float
thought
up
of
in the
them
air like
as
this and
smaller
just, like,
darts.
Yeah.
Right in the top of the noggin.
the one that many people had their foot and stuff stuck into.
Yep, that sounds perfect.
Probably does
Uh,
23 damage.
one d4.
There's some monks somewhere who can throw like needle-sized darts and shatter glass. I've always imagined the monks' darts to be small and just thrown with extreme skill.
Right.
Now I'm just picturing a monastery of monks that are just all they do is play lawn darts all day.
Well, I will
It
s-
says piercing range 20/60. Do you know what /60 means?
60 is your max range, and you take disadvantage if you
Anything
go
after
past
20?
20, right?
Got it. So yeah, they're at 30, but I could probably clear the trees with them. I don't think that's how it works, right? I'm
Be the
literally
most-
throwing it this way.
The most mellow monk ever. He plays.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
We
so
attack
well.
with lawn darts and cribbage boards.
Why not? You know what? I'm gonna try it. They get, you said +2 to their AC. So-
And you
and
have
then I have a
disadvantage.
disadvantage on
Yeah.
that. Oh,
But they do not have their shields in their
no, they don't.
so
Can I get within 20 instead though? I could run into the water and do it. How does
okay,
that sound?
go for it.
Right. So he runs up to the water right on the other side of the tree line. And throws a dart. Click on dart. Can't click on the dart.
It's okay.
So we're starting here, right?
Yeah, you can start right about there. Yeah, somewhere close to there. Correct.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Perfect. Whatever.
And
class
it's
you're
like this. I don't have disadvantage though anymore because I'm within 20 feet, right?
in. You do not have disadvantage. Correct.
All right, but they're gonna have a better armor class. So I rolled an 11 versus whatever they
Yeah.
got.
Unfortunately, their armor class is better
Yep.
than 9. So
Yep. Okay.
or
nice.
if you want to say they get +2 to their armor
Might have hit
class.
a tree even.
Whatever, yeah. You kind of throw it and hit part of a tree. You kind of throw it into the trees and just kind of hits part of the tree and spirals off. Shoot.
Right.
All right. That was Gashar. That brings us to Hemo. Hemo, what are you going to do? You saw Gashar run into the water and throw a dart into the woods. You can see through the woods here that there are goblins on the other side, but they're difficult to make out.
First off, I have a second wind. It looks like it comes back on a short rest, so there's not really a reason to not use it. I am down on HP right now.
Go for it. That's
I'm gonna
I
roll
believe
1D.
that's a sure that's a that's
1d10
not an
plus
action, right?
fighter level. No, that's a bonus action.
Bonus action.
I was hoping to sneak around across the stream and into the trees to sneak around to the other side of the goblins.
Feel free to do so. Just give me your hide roll.
1, 2, 3, 4. All right.
Move at half speed while sneaking.
I got a 13 for stealth.
Okay. You move half speed while sneaking, and the woods are considered difficult terrain, so they count as 10 feet.
Dang. So My
If you're
speed is
ever, if
30.
you ever went deer hunting up north where you're trying to walk through the thickets while you're trying to be quiet for the deer, and it takes you, you kind of have your gun and
Yeah.
that's what it is, yeah.
So half speed is 15, so I can move like 1 square.
Yeah, you're kind of like sneaking through the water right now. Remember, this is 6 seconds, and you're trying to be very quiet. All right, so you move
All right,
up.
yeah.
Okay, that was Hemo, and
I
you can,
begin
but you
sneaking.
can move twice now because you can move twice as long because you didn't take another action. So you can
Yeah,
move
use your
60
action to
feet
dash.
total.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll dash, and so if I have half speed,
It'd be 60, so you could move 30.
okay. All right, I'll.
You can move 3
Can you
squares.
dash when you're sneaking? That doesn't.
No, but you can move 3 squares. 3
while
squares.
sneaking through difficult terrain.
All right, would I get to here? I guess.
Yeah.
Yep, you can get to there.
Oh, I have to roll my d10 for second wind. I don't think I can do it through this. That's a d20.
Okay, Hemo. This is
Oh
gonna-
man, I got a 1 on my d10, so I gain 3
What?
hit points from my
Okay.
second wind.
Hemo, as you land in that square, you literally, as you come across the square, you come through there, you literally turn and another goblin that was hiding in the woods turn and you surprise each other. You literally look at each other. You both jump back a foot, kind of staring at each other. And the goblin looks at it kind of just starts grabbing at its weapon. So that's what happened. That's what happened this round.
So where is
Hemo
it?
raises both his
I will
swords.
bring it down. I'll bring it on to the map now.
Is it still hidden from us?
Jeez.
No, he's no longer hidden.
Okay.
It's literally was hiding in the woods.
I tripped on him.
You literally, and he didn't notice you. He didn't see you, and you literally walked over the top
You
of him.
didn't see him.
All right,
That's funny.
that brings us to Colin.
I don't see where my icon is.
You can drop it onto the screen. You should drag it like every time you go to a different map, you need to drag your icon onto the screen. It's
Oh, I didn't
new.
know that.
That's okay. That's why this is the first day, so don't worry about it. But next week,
Well, I don't know where Colin's icon is.
so you go over to where your character is
The journal
inside of
tab.
the
The journal.
journal, and you just drag it on by dragging the name.
Yep, right there.
And you can drag it right about here.
Yeah, right next to that.
That's perfect.
All right, now you can move 30 feet. You can
Actually-
cast a spell.
I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast it's a cantrip called Chill Touch.
Perfect. And what's the range?
The range is 120 feet.
Nice.
So what happens is suddenly you see this sort of almost like skeletal hand appear. You see Colin kind of focusing. The skeletal hand kind of appears. He suddenly kind of points in a general direction, and from him, this hand basically goes over here and it just goes up and touches that goblin.
I will touch you in your general direction.
Mhm.
All right. And do you mean to make a to hit roll with that?
Yes, it says on a hit, the target takes 1d8, so I have to try to hit it.
All right. And you're talking about this goblin right here.
Yeah, there's I'll click on him.
That one right there. Okay. Perfect.
So,
Back over
Perfect.
in the chat window.
And what armor class did you hit?
12.
Armor class 12? No, the chill touch launches and you see it once again gets kind of caught up in the bramble and brush. You think that the more difficult, because it's kind of they're partially obscured by the woods, the woods protected them from your spell.
okay.
All right, that is Colin. That brings us to Finis.
That's pretty wild seeing that come out from you.
Mhm.
Finis, you see the holy symbol on his hammer glow and his eyes glow. But that's all that the party sees. What the two goblins over here is these mysterious bells. As their time draws near and they have to make wisdom saving throws.
They both, you see these goblins which scramble to get their bows, suddenly like look around as if there's a ghost around them. They're all confused. Wisdom saving throws?
Yes, sir.
They're finished.
Okay, I
Their
made
lives are over.
13 on one and a 6 on the other.
13 just saves.
Oh, okay.
So nothing happens to him, but the other one's going to take a D8.
Ooh.
It would be a D12 if he was already damaged.
Is that Toll the Dead?
Yes.
I love that
Cool.
spell. It's really cool.
4 damage.
Yeah, I'm hearing Metallica too. 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's almost like the sound itself causes him to wither in anguish. You see him wincing. All right, that is he's been told from the dead. That brings us from Finis to Waif.
All right. Waif saunters around next to Colin. And there's this like wispy black, almost like if you see it out of the corner of your eye.
Yeah.
And she like blows a kiss to the one that Hemo is fighting.
All right.
And the smoke just, and
Yeah.
he is now hexed.
The Hemo, you can see the black flamey has like a dancing flame or smoke all over the body, over the top of the surface of this goblin you're fighting. You've seen this before.
It creeps him out a little, but
That's a
He's-
bonus action.
Mhm.
And now I shall Eldritch Blast.
All right. You think that
As-
this creature's under cover right now.
That's fine. So +2.
Yeah.
Okay. But she's kind of looking at Colin. It's kind of a smirk.
hey, check it out. I can make evil death lasers.
All right. What armor class did you hit?
That's a good question because I can't find my character. There it is.
Oh, that should do it.
What'd you hit?
I hit 17.
Yeah, that will
So-
definitely hit even through the
So
line
I
of
also
bodies.
have Agonizing Blast, and I have Repelling Blast, and it adds another D6 because of the hex. So you see where it hits, right?
Yeah.
That Eldritch Blast, and that hex, that little smoky,
Yeah.
like dives in and follows into the thing, and the wound starts to necrotize. It's
Ooh.
necrotic.
kind
So
of like black, just
Yeah, let me roll that.
like gray death skin kind of forms.
Yep. And let's see, D6. So 4, 7. So 8 total points of damage. And it is blasted back 10 feet because on top of Agonizing Blast, I have Repelling Blast. So my Eldritch Blast also blasts them back 10 feet.
All right, it blasts back, and I'll move it to here, and you'll see why in a second here, and I'll mark him as gone.
He's dead.
It gone. Yeah, died. So you get a bonus of your charisma plus 1 hit points back.
Hemo's
Oh yeah,
got
you
his
see-
swords up, ready to swing, and just
All
kind
right.
of
And
his
this
shoulders
creature-
slump.
This creature gets
Oh.
launched. As it gets launched, Hemo, you notice this creature's launched into another goblin, which was trying to hide right there. Literally was launched into a spot. This goblin was drawing his bow back, but was almost attacked by this body flying right at it. It had to jump out of the way, and because of that, became you saw it.
And she
Hemo's
gives
excited
Colin-
again. He raises his swords once more.
All right. That was
That is how you do it.
That is everybody. Now I'm going to roll my initiative to see where the goblins land in the initiative order. Oh, wow. All right. Waif, what is your dexterity?
My dexterity is 14.
Okay, so you go first. All right. Okay, that brings us to Gashar. What are you going to do? These goblins are clearly, they thought they had this, they were under control here, but you have proven that they are not.
All right, so the 2 that are here and here, are those still alive then?
They both are. If they don't have an X on them, they're still alive.
All right, perfect. Well, Gashar is gonna make his way through the woods then.
All right.
To this spot right here. feel like I should ask, am I going to run into, as I'm moving through, a hidden goblin in the woods?
No,
All right.
no. Good question.
And seeing as these two
It's
are
literally a field of goblins are all holding.
30 of them.
There's not even woods there. It's actually they're all just wearing hats.
there.
um,
Just drop her.
yeah. Let's see. So let's see. Looks like
palm leaves.
Yeah.
You guys suck.
then spending key points. Is that an action to do that?
You'll have to look. I'm assuming that you have to.
I think you spend it and then you can do certain things.
Yeah, I
So it
think
says,
I'm
like,
pretty
you
sure
can-
it's free.
be a
You
bonus
just
action.
it just allows you to do the action.
Yeah, it
it's
allows
like,
you to do
it's like my
thing as a
my
bonus action.
hex. My hex is a bonus.
Yeah,
action.
I'm assuming your key is a bonus action. You can look it up after your turn.
I think yeah, it just enables me to do a bonus. So this one says it's patient defense. I can spend a key point to take the dodge action as a bonus action on my turn.
Nice.
So that's what I wanted to do, was basically
Perfect.
take the dodge action.
Yeah.
I think that gives me a bonus to my AC, right?
Yeah, it does pretty
Like
much.
a
I
temporary-
believe it gives you +2, and it'll take 2 seconds to find out.
Thank you. So that's what he wants to do, because he's getting up close now. So as he's going through the woods, he sort of steals himself here, and then right as he steps out of the woods and faces these two in a nice little line, he breathes on him.
Ah,
Take the dodge action. All attacks avoid you are at disadvantage.
If you
Oh,
can see the attacker,
Yes,
and
if
you
can-
also get advantage on dex saves. That's kind of cool.
yeah.
That didn't do me any good, so I'll just roll it manually. They have a dex save versus, and I'm double checking the breath weapon here. It says it is 8 plus my constitution modifier, which is 2. So
Plus,
that's 10,
plus
plus my
your
proficiency bonus, and I'm double checking that
2.
number. Is it 2?
2, yes.
Where did I see that though?
It goes by your levels, so it
There it
should
is.
be
Top
never.
left. Okay, got it. So 12. So they need a dex bonus, a dex
14.
save versus 4. No, 8
They-
plus 8 plus 2 plus 2.
12.
12.
They both fail horribly. In fact, one of them critically fails and was so disturbed by the ringing of the bells, the toll as you're running out, it sees you and just gets face planted right into your breath
Lightning
weapon.
shoots out from Gashar's mouth, plastering right through these two goblins. 10 points of damage each.
All right.
Jeez.
God damn. Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty good. That is pretty good
And he forms a stance after that, like he's ready to be defensive, obviously, with
for sure.
his dodge. Yeah,
There might not have been any need.
perhaps not.
All right, you see,
He takes a defensive stance. All
Finis,
his enemies are
see
dead.
this arc of lightning strike through these two goblins, and they just fall flat, half ashen bodies, just charred.
Twisting, char
Little
falling off of him.
steams in the rain as the rain's falling on them.
He's defensive, but he looks around then. Can't see anybody else.
All right, that brings us from Gashar all the way to a Hemo. You see that goblin in front of you, 10 feet, and it's
All right.
has a shield and it has a scimitar.
Okay. I'm gonna run through the woods at him. I guess that's 20 feet of movement to get there.
Yep.
I'm not sneaking anymore. No point.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make a couple swings with my scimitars.
Go for it.
First one is a 7 to hit.
That will not hit.
The second is a 16 to hit.
That does hit.
All right, that does 7 points of slashing damage.
All right. He runs forward,
Cut him down.
and as he runs through the woods, this goblin just kind of cowers because you're such an ominous force coming through. And as it backs up, you don't even have to swing. You just drive your sword straight into the chest of this thing.
Finis
All right.
calls out after he sees that being stabbed. Any more takers?
All right, you do that. You don't hear anything else unless one of you guys want to respond.
I call the hex back,
All right.
and it's just like
Oh,
Star
creepy.
69.
wispy smoke.
Oh, the hex can be moved from enemy to enemy, can't it?
Again, for the next hour.
Cool.
Nice. So I'm guessing this black ichor is just kind of crawling over your hand.
Mhm.
Nice. Okay,
Gross.
that's what you see. You don't see any other enemies. You see this river running through it, and it's anywhere between 2 to 3 feet of water running steadily through the center of this hole right here.
It's a crick.
It's moving pretty fast. You can vaguely, for those of you that are near this tunnel, you can vaguely hear the thunders of a waterfall within, but it's probably farther down that tunnel. You can't really, it's very, very faint. We'll drop out of initiative and you can tell me what you're going to do.
These swords are not very well made, are they?
They seem to be very
Goblin
average.
scimitars.
They're very average scimitars. You could take them; they'll do fine.
Oh, the weight's gonna be all off. No, not with scimitars like this.
You probably could gather them and sell them at the mouth of the city as people are leaving.
We could slap the blue lion pendant on these 10-pack for 1 gold, perhaps.
Yeah, I've definitely bought daggers like that before. All logo, no blade.
The Nike of daggers. All right. What are you guys gonna do?
I guess I searched the goblins for anything else. Gold, daggers.
Yeah, each of these goblins that are here, they have on them 7 copper pieces. We'll just say across the board. That went out to roll a bunch.
Hemo, I think Hemo just pockets the 7 copper from the one he killed.
No problem. And they also, the one you killed also has that, like I said, he has a small shield and a rapier or yeah.
He had a scimitar
Scimitar, I apologize. Scimitar.
that didn't have a good balance. Hemo just tosses it aside.
No problem. Kick it to the side. Anybody else going to do anything with these fallen before you? Are you going to run in fear of the thunderous mouth?
Looks like
They
we
call
should
it
go into the
thunder
cave,
mouth.
everyone. It's a little bit awkward.
There's no tracks leading into the cave. They just a river.
That thing you just did, is that Geshar? Is that a spell of some kind?
No, little spark.
Finis leans
He
over.
sort of clacks
"Dragons
his
breathe
mouth together.
fire."
I mean, he looks like, he looked kind of draconic, right? He's got the
Yeah.
like, he just kind of looks at you and then you see him smile, but all you really see is teeth.
Hemo's like, huh. Impressive.
No, I was studying under a wizard, or perhaps the wizard was studying. I do not know. I was studying under a wizard. You may know him. Bach.
I think I may study under different wizards. They're mostly elves.
But I did not do the spellcasting myself. This is natural. It is a natural ability.
All right. What are you guys gonna do now? Is there anything more you want to do before you enter the place, or do you want to flee at
Nah.
this?
Push it into the
You
cave.
do that hand thing again? That was cool.
Yes, I can. I can cast it several times today.
These goblins did so much damage to you. You guys okay?
He's like, well, I'm glad we spent all our high level spells now. On to the boss.
Mine is still going.
Yeah,
for-
Hemo's still hurt, but not from that one.
Those long-lasting spells that are good,
And-
like mage armor is good all day.
My Eldritch Blast is a cantrip.
Very nice. Very nice.
I can do that all day.
Does anybody have any ways to heal themselves if they do get hurt?
You could say that.
I don't have a third wind.
Like hypothetically, let's say that I was injured. He like pulls the other. He still has the one arrow in his side. Does anybody have any healing kit?
Talk
How
to the
bad are
cleric.
you right now?
9 out of 20. So I'm down by 11. Forgot about that after
Finis
the.
will walk
like,
over.
I've forgotten this arrow.
I'm just imagining you looking around like, oh, it's still there.
Well, look, all right. I know we gotta be quick about this, but the
Finis
trail
walks over.
is right here. We know it hasn't gone cold. could we stop and rest and bandage some wounds for a minute?
Well, in order to get a short rest, it's 1 hour.
Yeah, Hemo's kind of suggesting that. Like,
Where do they have the rest?
maybe if we hide well enough, we can just, maybe if we're really lucky, they'll bring them out the front of the cave and we can just jump them here and get our boss back.
You should call in there and ask them if they'll bring them out quietly.
Something tells me they don't really take well to asking kindly.
Finis will walk over to Gashar, put a hand over one of your wounds, and it closes and starts to heal back up. And cast Cure
Pulls the
Wounds, you
arrow
get
out right
10
as you do
points
that.
back.
How many points back?
10 points.
You get 10 hit
Ooh.
points back.
Many thanks.
You're pretty
really-
much healed up.
I really liked that one a lot. It made me feel better.
It was a good one.
Dang.
Okay.
I forgot that I had written that I'm horribly, horribly awkward in social situations. I'm trying to be better at being
So-
awkward.
Just
I
be yourself.
do
you're
not
doing
see
fine.
the need to rest. We are doing fine.
What was that, Cameron?
Finis will say to the group, I don't see the need to rest. It seems we're doing fine. And these goblins don't seem much of a threat if we are paying attention.
Hemo
Fine now.
gets to his feet then and says, all right, have at him.
All right, who's going to do what?
Hemo's gonna go check out the mouth of the cave then. He's gonna, I guess, try to quietly poke his head in. He's not going to call out. That's for sure.
It looks like within a few feet of this cave, it's going to get dark quick in there.
Is it dim light? Or I have dark vision, elf dark vision.
Yeah, you're
Whoops.
probably fine.
So Waif sidles up next to Colin. So you know magic, huh?
I've been trained by a wizard.
Pulls out a vial. Doesn't know what this is.
I can study the spell Identify, but I don't have that studied for today. I didn't think I would need anything like that.
You can. It's a potion.
Mhm.
So you can use insight, or if you have Arcana, you can use Arcana and you roll against it to identify a potion.
Yeah.
Potions are a little different. They're a little easier.
I can use Arcana.
What's that?
You can use Arcana.
Yeah, you can use Arcana.
Oh shit, I
yeah.
have Arcana.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. I apologize. Insight's what most people use. Arcana. If you.
Oh, never mind. I didn't know that. I rolled an 18.
Never mind. I thought I had said that.
As you
Oh,
pull
I
it out,
heard
you're like, you
insight.
see what this is?
I
And
didn't
you're
hear
like,
Arcana.
I maybe missed it.
you twist your head to the side.
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
All right. I'll just give it to you both of them. Both of these are potions of healing.
But yeah, I didn't pull those out. 'cause
Okay, then never mind.
I
It's fair enough, and I may forgot to say it as well.
heard you say insight. So I was like, oh, all right.
All right. So
have
anyway,
it.
so you're able to identify potions. Everything else you'll have to take a short rest and bond with it, and you can use your spells to identify with it, things like that. But potions are kind of like special sauce. So what are you guys gonna do? You think that once you get within 10 feet of this hole, it's gonna get very dark. You can see just the blackness inside. There doesn't appear any light inside. You think goblins, because they have dark vision, probably never even use light in there. Who's going in? Who's gonna be my victim? Who's gonna be victim number one?
Hemo can see. He'll go in.
All right, Hemo, you go to there. Your dark vision goes how far?
60 feet.
Okay.
I can see in darkness as if it were dim light, and I can't discern color. Just gray.
Let's take it here for now.
As I have no problem in the dark, I shall follow as well.
All right, what you see ahead of you is the water cavern goes forward. You can see that there's like an opening right here. I don't know if I can right thing here. There's an opening right here. Kind of it leads up the cave. Colin, you just went into the darkness.
Yeah, I know. I just tried to move my character up a little bit.
All right. And so
You won't be able to grab it back, probably.
yeah, I pulled him back.
Oh, okay.
I pulled you back from the edge, man.
And I did it again. I'm literally actually moving it the opposite way. Gosh, I miss miniatures.
Yeah. So you maybe is your mouse inverted or something?
No,
Okay.
I'm inverted. My brain is inverted.
That happens. All right. And then to the side here, you can see a couple steps leading up. You notice that just inside the cave, you can see a few uneven stones steps leading up there that go up to a small dark chamber on the east side of the passage. You hear snarls and as if there's kind of animals in there, most likely a wolves of some type. This kind of that's what you see at this point. I will just as you walk in, you have to go a little farther if you want to see any more detail.
Dennis will also walk up.
You think that there's some kind of wolves or something with a wolf type growl inside of that eastern chamber.
I guess Hemo pushes forward as quietly as he can, swords drawn, just
Right.
a little bit up those steps towards the growling.
All right, as you get here, I'll reveal the area to you. All right. The cave narrows to a steep fissure at the far end and is filled with the stench of animals. Savage snarls and the sounds of rattling chains reach your ears as you see 3 wolves are chained up just inside the opening. Each wolf's chains lead to an iron rod driven into the base of a stalagmite. These creatures stand up and they see you and they begin kind of snarling and barking at you. They kind of they walk forward and the chains kind of stop them from moving.
They all kind of come up towards like the mouth of the cave.
Well, they can only reach, they're kind of locked in their position right now, but they're kind of chained right there. You can see the 3 of them kind of just standing there. They're kind of tugging against their kind of chains and just kind of, and they just kind of seem to be watching you. They don't seem to be hyper aggressive towards you at this point. However, it may be if you got a lot closer, they might, you never know.
Can I stand right there?
Yes, you can stand right there.
Huh.
I look at Hemo. Well, what do you want?
Yeah. I don't know. They just like guard dogs or something. Don't know why they got them chained down.
Are they a threat?
They don't look like they can get to us. See, look. Hey, Hemo waves
All right, you're gonna wave at them.
over here. See, I don't think they can.
Is there anything else in the room besides the 3 wolves? And the
Does it look like there's a passageway moving out of that?
All right, they kind of like they kind of like run, kind of move forward. They're gonna get hit by that chain. And so as you wave at them, they kind of lunge at you toward you, but they can't move from the chain. What were you asking, Dave?
Is there, I'm not in the cave yet.
Okay.
I don't have a light source. So my thought is there any way beyond the cave? I mean, can the 2 characters that are in that way, can they see if there's,
Is that a path at the end of the cave?
It's within reach of my dark vision.
There you can see, you're talking about
You mentioned like a fissure, but I don't know if that was a
that's it right back
fissure a
there.
medium creature could get
There's
through.
a fissure long dragging down from the ceiling. It was like a 30-foot drop, like some a crack or fissure 30 foot behind it. There's also a kind of an opening here that you haven't seen much detail on yet. And then the path, of course, continues down farther. So you have a couple of options.
I dislike threats behind. She starts blasting.
What's that?
She starts blasting.
Blasting at the wolves.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's roll initiative.
Hemo was like halfway through saying, I don't know, maybe we can just leave him alone. And the wave starts blasting.
All right. Let's get our initiative roll. Wave, what do you get?
roll for blasting.
Yeah, 16.
16 Bashar, what'd you get?
14.
Colin.
I didn't do it yet.
That's okay.
I'm having a hard time. moving
Hemo,
this
what'd you get?
character.
Hemo's got a 7 for initiative. Appropriate.
I recommend getting a mouse.
Finis, what do you get?
16.
I hate those little pads.
16.
I've
Yeah, I do
never
too.
been able
Alright.
to use them.
And then Colin, what'd you end up getting for initiative?
Yeah, pull up the character sheet.
I'll roll mine then. All right, well, we'll start with, we'll assume they're gonna be after Waif then. So Waif or Finis, who goes first?
Out of
I see a
which
two
two?
after.
I have 14 decks.
I got 0 decks.
All right, Waif, so you can go ahead, you make perfect sense. You kind of go ahead and start blasting one of them. Which one are you gonna blast?
That first one, the one closest to me there.
All right,
Oh, yeah. And then the hex will also.
yep,
Go out.
hit the hex.
So 9 plus 3 plus d6. So 17 points of damage.
17 points of damage. All right.
Yeah.
All right, you take care of that. That brings us to Finis. What do you got?
Finis, hearing Wave just starts
Okay.
setting off magical explosions. Will
Hmm.
kind of trudge his way in,
Okay. All right. Perfect.
see that we're targeting some dogs, and he will also let out a cold hand that flies their way.
Ooh.
And I
All
get
right.
to attack both of them because they're within 5 feet.
Are you taking lessons from Colin?
It seems like an appropriate spell. 22 on the first
nice.
one for 8 damage. And 14 on the second one for 2 damage.
You get 2, or is it a range?
So I have, as a death cleric, I have a feature called Reaper. I get the ability to, with a necromancy cantrip that would normally target one creature only, the spell can instead target 2 creatures as long as they're within 5 feet of each other.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
So one is heavily damaged, the other one's gone. All right, that is
Also, Dave rolled initiative. You got 18.
okay. So
14.
Dave, it's your turn now. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna just move up, but I don't have the ability to see in the dark.
That's
so-
okay. So you can move yourself up to the edge here, and so move yourself to here.
Why does it go backwards? That is weird. I'm
Wait.
watching you do it.
Let's see, because if you
There
if you,
it goes there for a second.
if you grab it, you just grab it and move it like that.
Yep. And well, somebody help me out.
Looks like it's in the right spot now.
Okay.
Weird.
All
We'll
right.
get you a mouse for next time.
Yeah. Let me know, and I'm sure we can.
I've
get
also
you set up.
seen Roll20 act a little bit weird sometimes. Just,
And with my brain injury, if anything is going to act weird, it's gonna do
Fair enough.
Yeah.
it for me.
Okay. All right. So you move up to there. Perfect. What that brings us now to Gashar. What are you gonna do?
well, I was double checking with my Dragonborn race, but I'm pretty confident I don't have dark vision. It would be on a trait or something on my character.
It would
right?
be, yes. So you probably
So I
don't.
probably don't. So it's very dark in there. Let's see. But I do have, so I was searching for that quickly. I do have an explorer's pack, and I thought I saw in there that there was a torch. There are torches.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
So I'll
Yeah,
pull
there
out
are
a torch
torches
and
in there.
I'll light that up.
You light a torch.
I'll
Perfect.
mark one of those off.
Hemo. Oh no, now it's my turn. My turn. All right. Let's see what happens here.
Double
Okay,
check
that
the torch.
wolf keeps tugging against the thing. He can't get free. However, Hemo, you are attacked from down the ravine. That your light source?
Yep.
Sweet. You are attacked from down the ravine from somewhere. You're not sure where. So I had armor class. No, I didn't hit you. Armor class 11. All right. So you got shot by an arrow came flying down the tunnel at you.
Further.
From further down the
From
tunnel. Yeah,
further, not-
from down this way.
Okay.
All right.
Hemo turns around, very irritated. Again?
All right, that brings us to Waif.
I blast again. I move the hex to the other dog.
Sure. Go for it.
And I Eldritch blast again. Yeah, 15.
That will hit. Yeah.
Oh, wait. 10 missed.
Okay, 10 does miss. Okay, you shot the thing, but it's kind of dancing around there. That brings us to Finis. This glowing orb of light comes
Finis.
up behind you.
Gishard did light.
Yeah, Gashar's coming up with a torch.
Okay. Let me just check the description here. Okay, lasts for 1 hour. Finis will turn over to Colin. Does Colin have any like lapel pin or anything on, like any piece of his gear that might
No,
be good
no,
to
he
cast
doesn't seem
light
to have
on?
anything like that.
It's
Is,
just a simple traveling wizard.
Yeah, just simple traveling, you know.
Okay. Well, he will.
You are carrying a staff or a weapon of some sort, right?
He has a regular dagger and then it's a small knife.
Okay.
Okay.
You of course probably know that they used to have to take, the bird feathers and then they'd have to sharpen the quills. So that's probably what you can think.
Oh, yeah.
of
Sure.
For
All
calligraphy.
right. So Finis takes out that little blue lion brooch that he pulled off the guy in the pit,
Sure.
casts light on it, sticks it on Colin's lapel. He starts walking off into the
Right. You
cave.
suddenly have a lapel just stuck on you and you see you kind of look down, it burns your eyes for a second because it's so bright, but you
Right.
can see it. It gives you now light.
Yep. Thank you.
20-foot radius, and then an
Sweet.
additional 20 foot of dim.
Huh. Weirdly, that wouldn't light up
Is that on Colin?
Yeah.
the shooter.
What was the main oh, I do have X.
Light spell.
And then he walks further into the cave.
Yeah, what was the range or the radius?
20.
20?
20 foot of bright and 20 of dim.
You got a 20-foot golden circle on you as
Oh
well,
yeah.
right?
Nice.
Hemo has to tell Finis they're shooting from there.
All right.
He's got a big shield. He's good.
All right. We'll just keep going in initiative for now. Who just went? That was Finis. That brings us to Colin.
All right.
Colin, you just got a bunch of light turned on you.
Yeah. Colin will move up.
All right. So you moving up to there?
Yeah. Just
Okay.
moving up to there.
Perfect.
Kind of still, he's probably ankle to knee deep in the water.
Yay. Gashar, it's your turn. Oh, your light goes to there. Perfect. There,
So we
let me
haven't
reveal a
seen-
little bit more here.
So we haven't seen the source yet, right? Of these. And I think so. Gashar will run up ahead as well, and then basically just wants to do a defensive stance. I'm trying to. I think that basically was a dodge action I did earlier, right?
Yeah, you can use dodge as an action.
Or
Yeah.
full defend. Full
Yeah,
defensive
that
thing.
gives you that. I think just dodge is the action that gives you up
Yeah.
advantage on the attacks on you.
Okay, perfect. So I can go a ways actually. So if I get up to this edge here, I can keep moving. Can you, if I
Yep.
run to this edge, can you illuminate the around the edge there?
Yeah, let me double check here what I have going on with this map.
That's 25 feet, so I can go another 15 in theory. This is even terrain, yeah.
It's
E-
con-
easy.
No, this is considered you're going through this water.
the water's
This is
tough.
going to be considered difficult terrain. Yep.
Hmm.
Fast is choke with rubble. Treat this area as difficult terrain.
Okay, so so once he gets off of the water into the path, though, the path is okay or no?
Yeah, where you at in the path? Yep. Mhm.
Okay, so some of it would have been difficult.
Yeah. So you're fine. So once if you stay on the path, you're fine.
he probably finished his movement there though.
Perfect.
So he'll go do a defensive.
Yep.
stance.
I'll reveal some more of the tunnel here.
Okay. Thank you.
What is your use of your passive list? 11, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. You're looking on the path right there. And I'm going to check one piece of information here.
So I don't see an obvious goblin there hiding well.
You know, give me a. Did you use that as your action?
No.
You're using dodge, right?
Dodge.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you don't see anything obvious.
Sure.
All right, that was Gashar. That brings us to their turn. All right. Looks like I have these two here and here are each going to attack once by arrows.
All right. Don't forget the disadvantage for me.
Okay. I think it's only disadvantage if you can see them. Check the dodge rules.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but yeah, it is. You have to see them to impose disadvantage on their attacks.
Darn.
All right, let me double check with the.
Although you don't have to see the attacker once you get deflect missiles, you can just kind of react to the missile coming at you.
All right,
So that'll be cool.
Against Goshar, I hit armor class 11 plus 4 is 15. And against Finis, I hit armor class 23.
23 will hit it.
All right, Goshar, you are hit for max for 8 points of damage. Finis, you are hit for 6 points of damage as arrows come firing out down at you. Both of you are allowed to give me an insight check.
Sorry, I'm double checking the actions that I was able to do.
13. I don't know why it rolled with advantage, but 13.
At the top of your character sheet, you have advantage, normal, and disadvantage, probably.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Did insight?
advantage
Yes,
was
give me an
clicked
insight
on,
roll.
but
6.
All right, Goshar, you don't notice anything. I mean, double check to make sure I give the right value for this. Unfortunately, they put the values in paragraph form, so sometimes you have to kind of read a little bit ahead to see what the numbers actually are.
I guess me doing a dodge
Okay.
action against nothing was kind of dumb.
Okay,
Live and learn, eh?
yes.
Well, if you had been attacked in melee, you would have seen them coming.
Neither of you
Sort
see anything up the. Neither of you see anything up the path. All right, that was them. That brings us to Hemo. It is your turn.
This wolf here is fixed to the spot, right? If I took a
It is.
step up the stairs to get behind some cover, he would not be able to reach me.
That wolf cannot reach you. As you do so, you can see that throughout this tunnel here, and I'll use to make sure I have my selection set up. I will describe the passage now that there's light and everyone can see it. This cave slopes steadily upward. The entrance is at the foot of a good-sized hill, and the cave and passages are inside the hill itself. The ceiling itself is a modeled a bunch of stalactites covered kind of a vaulting ceiling about 20 to 30 feet up. That's what you see up there. There's a bunch of rubble that you can see, so you can pick up rocks or anything you want. It's pretty easy, loose, open where you can see the water from the cave has a muffled noises of any that are difficult to hear in here. You can hear the distant rumble of a waterfall. It's louder now that you've entered the cave. It becomes noticeably louder.
I think I
The
missed it
stream flows throughout the complex, is 2 feet deep at this point, cold and somewhat slow moving at this point.
You said that we're fired upon with arrows, right?
Yep.
I
Yep.
missed you said I think I heard you say it was arm class 15, so I would have gotten hit.
13 is what I hit on the class
13. Well, you
13.
hit. I'm a 13.
Did I
hit
say
that.
13 or 15? Yeah,
Either
yeah.
way,
I
either way, I got hit.
did you for max damage. I told you.
All right, thanks. I was looking up the dodge.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you didn't get hit again, just the one time.
Yep.
Okay, that was Hemo. That brings us now to Finis. What are you gonna do? Or Waif? I'm sorry, Waif is ahead of you.
Hemo also is gonna put his swords away and draw some daggers, but
Okay, that's fair enough. Hemo, our Waif, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to blast the wolves.
All right.
$17 for 7 and 14.
Oh, 7 and 14
14 total.
total damage.
Mhm.
Okay. You think that was enough? That wolf gets blasted away. Kind of yelps, falls.
So do temporary hit points stack?
I'm not sure, but I think they do.
yeah, right. You can.
I think you just get them for the rest
Get
of
a
the day.
bunch of
They
different
last. They think
temporary
you
hit
do
points.
I think it's a long rest. Let's look up temporary hit points to be sure. I don't know. But it may be just a condition, meaning a lot of things don't stack here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. Okay, that brings us to Finis.
Oh,
what are you gonna
what?
do?
That is not what I thought, but no, they can't be added together according to the.
That makes sense though, because
way it is.
what I would do as a warlock NPC is I would have as a 20th level NPC or a 20th level NPC, I'd have a bunch of goblins, right? And before I went into battle, I'd kill 30 goblins,
Yeah.
adding 30d6 hit points to myself. You know, I mean, that's kind of you always gotta play the what if you're high level and are devious game. All right, so that is Finis. What are you gonna do?
Finis he's going to use his action to take the dodge action. So attacks against him will have disadvantage and he'll keep walking forward. Let's see, we go.
That you can see.
Yeah, don't forget, it's only the ones you can see. I literally just did that and it didn't do any
Oh.
good. You guys are hidden. I'm the guy in the woods that has an arrow sticking out of him going, message for you, sir.
Gotcha. Okay, then in that case, let's see. Let me just look at that.
You could try to spot them though. I'm about to do that.
Yeah, he's just gonna take a couple steps forward and try to look out for where these attackers are.
All right, just give me a perception roll.
Perception. 22.
All right, you perceive who else is doing it.
I mean, I would on my next turn.
Okay, don't worry about it. You don't have to worry. Okay, so let me drop down and just gonna move off to the map. All right, what you see is high up in the stalactites, 20 feet up, there's a bridge going across. On this bridge, is that
Two, I'm guessing at least.
yeah, are two goblins that are sitting up there firing down at you. So you think about 20 feet up along, it's very difficult to see. They're sitting there between the stalactites firing down at you.
They're in our dim light right now from our light source.
Yep. And they're considered undercover behind the stalactites. All right, that's what you see. Then you took your action. Who was that? Finis?
Finis.
You have a move action. Did you already take it?
I just moved forward a little bit, but
Sure.
seeing them, he'd run underneath the bridge.
Okay. Go ahead and
Is
do
it-
that.
Alt that. Let's
When
see.
you do that, the goblins on that bridge yell. They just start yelling. You don't speak goblin, but you hear them yelling. All right, that brings us to Finis. That brings us to Colin. What are you gonna do? Colin, you hear?
Colin's going to get out of the water.
Okay.
And of course, drag it the opposite way. There we go. And I'm not going to go way up there. I wanted to actually go right here,
You can just point if you want, and I can move you, no problem.
right here.
Just click and hold. and it'll do the little
There you
ping
go.
thing.
Yep,
There
that's
you go.
where I wanted to be.
No problem. We can help you out there until we get your technology fixed. That happens. This is no big deal. All right, Colin goes there. That is Goshar's turn.
All right, now I see them. So, let's see. What do I want to do? I will. I think I'm going to stick with the dodge action because I want to try to draw their attacks and hopefully not hit anybody else. And then other people might have better ranged weapons.
Perfect.
So, Gashar will stand up basically right there and tell them, everyone with your ranged attacks, fire at them. And then he'll dodge.
All right, you do that. That's you're dodging, dancing.
He's got a quarterstaff out. He looks menacing at him.
All right. This is what happens. It's the goblin's turn now. So what you see, I'll give you more detail here. The stream passes continues up beyond the set of uneven steps ahead, bending eastward as it goes. A waterfall sounds out from a larger cavern somewhere ahead of you. A rickety bridge spans the passage, connecting two tunnels that are 20 feet above the stream. So you can see that there's tunnels that are 20 feet above the stream as if they cross over. Okay, and then the passage is suddenly filled with a mighty roar as a huge surge of rushing water pours down from above. So you see down where this is, literally this whole thing becomes flooded with water and is running down this whole passage.
So the water's coming out of the cave?
Literally the whole wall, the whole cavern itself, 10 feet deep of water comes flying throughout the entire cavern.
Even on the walkway.
Under the walkway, they're 20 feet up.
Sorry, at the walkway we're on.
Oh
The
yeah,
side.
yeah.
The side path.
The whole wide
Got it.
passage is
Got it, all of
being
it.
flooded with water. So as the water comes rushing down, you can tell me what you're kind of give me what you're planning on doing, and I'll tell you kind of what the save is for it or what the thing has to do. So first thing that happens is Finis, you see this wall of water rushing down at you. They're about 10 feet wide. It's a wave of water is going to splash you right in the body. What's your plan?
He casts resistance on himself and gets ready to bear the brunt of it.
Is that
Hunkers
resistance
down.
considered a reaction?
It is one action, so I guess not.
No, you see it coming at you. You're like, whoosh. What's your reaction?
I don't know if I have anything I could use that's marked as a reaction, but I mean, if he could, he'd try to scramble up the side.
Okay, so you're going to try to scramble up the side. Give me a dexterity save then.
Could I use well, not athletics.
Nope, you have to give me a dexterity save.
Okay. Can't just strong arm my way up.
Line of
What's
everybody
that?
on the path of the water.
Yep.
Perfect. Does the water attack me at a disadvantage because I'm dodging?
No.
That's a natural one.
Be like
Okay.
water, Gishar.
He steals himself and then
The goggles, they're not working.
All right, Gashar. What you see Finis at the head of the
Smash.
water come flying down the water, rushing at you.
He's body
What
surfing.
are you going? He literally is just being swept away. He's trying to claw his way up, but the water was rushing down. What are you going to do? You see Finis like basically
yeah,
his weapons.
I'm
his
at, I'm
body.
at a kind of a little bit of a corner. I'm
Yep.
gonna try to flatten my body against it to hope that it'll pull around me a little bit. But
All right,
it's just
give me
quick movement, right?
give me a dexterity save. You're at disadvantage because you have a body being launched at you.
What?
Sorry,
No, I thought it was advantage because I
I
was
know.
dodging the body.
nice try.
Actually,
Nice try.
dodging the body, right? That's an attack. No. Dang.
No.
So just click on Dex, I believe.
Yeah.
All right. Character sheet. I think I am 13.
All right.
Disadvantage.
Did you make it with disadvantage?
No. Why is it disadvantage? I'll just roll it one more time and then it's the
That's
lower of the
fine.
two. So it's an 8 now.
Okay. All right, Colin.
Yeah.
You are struck by Gashar and Finis flying down the tunnel at you. The water rushing at you. What is you have a reaction you want to do?
I'll do the dexterity saving throw. That's probably
Okay,
the
give me a
best.
dexterity save then.
Disadvantage, yeah.
Disadvantage. Yep.
So I have to do it twice then.
Or you can roll with, you can click on disadvantage on your character sheet and then make the roll.
Oh,
Is it at the top? Well, we might not have turned.
I
that
turned it
yet.
on for everybody
did?
automatically.
Okay.
You should have it.
Yeah, at the very top, there's like a toggle, advantage, normal, disadvantage.
I got it on.
Excellent.
And
And then on the left,
click on dexterity.
that's it.
Yep. What do you get?
Oh, are you clicking on the name dexterity?
I clicked on the little 14, but
Then word.
Click on the word dexterity.
okay.
And I'm wondering if. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Got it.
nice.
Where'd you
Very
roll?
nice.
He's 17 and a 17. So
Dexy.
your disadvantage was a 17 still. You also got 17 advantage if you wanted to roll it that way.
All right. Waif.
I'm ducking into that cave.
Well, you can, but you have to make me a dexterity.
I know.
save.
I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
my plan.
Yeah, give me a dexterity roll, please.
Am I at a
Disadvantage right now.
disadvantage?
Yeah, because you have two bodies being launched at you right now.
There was a space. 17 and 11.
All right,
11.
that's enough. So Waif, I'm gonna give you a reaction to move that 5 feet. The rest of you,
So Colin dodged, right?
yep,
Okay. Good job.
launched out here. The two that are get launched out, they're gonna take some potential damage.
Hemo is not swept away by this water, but he sees the people floating by, right? Getting washed through.
Yourself.
Can he drop the knives in his hands and reach out to try to grab one of them as they are
No,
thrown
you
by?
can't. You
Save
Alright.
yourself.
you're
Save
you're
yourself.
not. You're not. I would say no. It's happened so fast. So both of you are going to take 5 points of damage as you are plunged out, smacked against the rock edges, and launched out into the cave.
Ow.
All right, that was 13. All right, the two that are there, these two goblins here, are going to shoot at the only person remaining in the hall in there, which is Colin. They're both firing down the hole. Oh, I missed both times badly. All right, Colin, you are missed.
Excellent.
And the arrows come flying past you. All right, that was at 13. That brings us to Hemo. Hemo, now you look behind you, this water comes rushing by, and you see your two companions go, what? Down the hole. And the
Is
water levels out, settles
okay,
down.
so it's not necessarily flooded anymore.
It's their action. It's a kind of a trap kind of action. So
Well, then Hemo's going to 3, 4.
you see those
5.
goblins up there now. Oh, have you seen those goblins up there? Have you looked and seen them yet?
Geshar pointed them out. That was kind of what I was planning
Alright.
on doing before Geshar got yeeted out of the water.
Were you in the hall? You just said they're up there.
I guess not. I was
I'm gonna
back out here.
Give you a spot roll. I'm gonna give you a perception, but you get advantage.
Alan,
Sure.
you should have had a dexterity saving throw with advantage because of dodge. That is literally what it says in the guide.
All right, give me the roll. If you make it, then
Well, the first roll that I had would have. So it was advantage, but you said there's a body. Would those
Okay.
cancel out. Then?
okay. I will say yes. They
So
didn't
the
make
13
cancel out.
then.
Okay, so instead of getting
Is that enough?
disadvantage, yeah, that'll be enough. So
right.
give yourself your 5 hit points back,
All
and
right.
I'll put you back up here. Sorry for that.
No,
Thanks.
that's why I was,
That's
I was like,
why-
what the hell's the point of dodge?
That's why we checked.
But-
I didn't think they didn't say specifically dexterity, but I must have misread that. Okay,
All right, cool.
so
I'm
I
told
apologize for confusing you.
No, that's
All
fine.
right, so
I-
anyway, you run up there.
learning.
So because he's up there, you as you go around, you can spot this round. You just need to make a advantage check to see them. That's all you got to do.
Okay. Perception. 16.
Yep, you see them. So you're running around, you see them up there. They're 20 feet up and they're shooting down from the stalactites.
Sweet.
On a bridge.
The range on throwing daggers is 20-60. Can I hit him from down here? Because I
problem,
want to
yeah.
chuck. I want to chuck both my daggers at the close guy.
Yep.
And I think we figured that 2-weapon fighting lets me get full damage on those. So
You do.
I'm
It's
gonna-
just like using two weapons. It's cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna yeet both daggers. I got a 21 on the first one and a 10 on the second.
Nice.
The 10 to hit misses.
Okay. The 21 does 4 points of piercing damage.
All right. You see it gets nabbed. It kind of hits part of his shoulder. yeah, kind of smacks into it, cuts a chunk of it, and your axe goes flying off the side and lands about here on the ground. Kind of hits him and comes flying off.
He's throwing like basically, well, I suppose whatever knives he bought, but basically like juggling swords.
Yeah,
Big throwing daggers.
yeah. You hit once and the other one misses and lands right here.
Okay,
The one that hit will be on the platform up there on the ground.
cool.
All right. That is Hemo. That brings us the round refresh. That brings us to Waif again. Waif, what are you gonna do?
Doesn't Colin have a better initiative than me?
Did I miss that? No, he's at 15 because I dropped him to 15
Oh,
because the order he came in. Yeah. So
So
well, we just went. Hemo went, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Waif. Yeah. You're at the top of the order.
all right. So that there isn't a place to go up. That's
That bridge.
no. Well, at the end of this cave, right? Like right here.
Right.
Does that
There is a 30-foot. There's a 30-foot funnel, like a part of the wall collapse or something.
It's a hole in the ceiling, basically, right?
Can you climb up?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fissure, like a crack in the earth kind of thing up
Yep, yep.
there.
not fond of that?
You could climb up into there. You don't know it's there, but you're welcome to do so.
Yeah, I had
There is
climbing is not my thing.
this
at all.
number 4. This number 4 here. I'll kind of give you more information on that. As you kind of ran past that, you can see that the main passage from the cave mouth climbs steeply upward, and stream plunging and splashing down the west side. And in the shadows, a side passage leads west across and under the side of the stream here. So it's kind of like a ravine, like this. It's like a rough pass through this number 4 here. You could take that passage way up.
So where's my ruler? Okay.
So you can see
So-
there's as you get there, as you get around this, you can see that there's an escarpment up there. So it can be like a little bit of a climb because it kind of like buckled in.
But if I move to here, is that cover?
If you can move to here and there'll be cover from the shooting, yes. If you move inside of that 5-foot square, you'll have cover.
I will move to there.
You having game issues?
My brain damage is catching on everyone.
Yeah,
You guys are so
So-
lucky you're not here.
And I can't see them though from there.
no, and there's like an escarpment behind you. The it's kind of like rising real fast. So you think if you want to go any farther, you're gonna have to climb a little bit. But yeah, you can move there. no
But I
problem.
can't see them from here.
You can't.
I
They
can't
can't
shoot around the corner.
What's that?
I can't. Can I use this like here for cover or no?
Yeah, I can give you cover for that. You can
Right,
cover.
that position right there.
Yeah, you
Okay.
you get a +2 to your armor class as they
I will
get
go there and I will. Is this the one that has
That
a
was
dagger
injured.
sticking out of
That
him?
was injured.
He's
Yes.
got like blood.
Yeah, he
All right.
was hit by a hand axe. All
The
right.
hex goes out to him.
The throwing dagger.
I apologize. Throwing dagger.
And
A hand axe would have been the better choice for a throwing fighter.
I shall Eldritch Blast again.
Go for it. I could have swore you said hand axes last week, and I apologize.
Oh, the fighter starts with hand axes, but I sold them because I'm a dex fighter, and the hand axes would have been not great.
So I had it on disadvantage. Can I roll it? Just normal?
Yeah, yeah. They have normal attack. They just get +2 to their armor class.
14.
Wait, I
14 to your
didn't
armor
sell
class.
them.
You
I
will hit.
threw them and just left them on the ground.
So 10 plus D6. Plus 3, 4. So 17.
Points of damage.
Mhm.
All right. It withers on the vine above there
And launch 10 feet.
and launches 10
Off of the back of it.
off the back. Does that happen every time?
Yep.
Okay.
How did you get 2 add-ons to your Eldritch Blast?
Get two. I get two.
Effects.
What is it? Eldritch. The
Oh, invocations.
invocations.
And you just instead of taking something else. You took both options to enhance your Eldritch
Eldritch
Blast.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
because yeah.
Cool.
Pew.
I'll double check just to make sure that that's all legal for next time, but I'm sure it is. We'll just double check. I just haven't used it before. So
You'd just be
that's
missing
awesome.
out on all sorts of other cool stuff.
No, that's totally cool. I'm totally fine with it. Okay, so that was Wave just launching her little Eldritch Blast launching that creature. All right, that brings us to Finis.
Finis kind of dusts himself off. He starts trudging back in. Is it half my movement to get up? Am I prone?
Yeah, you're prone. You're on the ground. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just do half my movement to move into here.
Too bad you weren't dodging.
Too bad.
Exactly. Now we know what dodging's good for.
And
Hey,
that's
it
all
didn't
he'll
work
do.
first round,
He's
like,
just
at
gotta make
all.
his way in.
But it did something.
And that's fine. All right, what do you-
Wave
what
has
do you
had a
want?
troubled childhood, and she wants to hurt back.
It has
Colin.
manifested as an extremely painful magic blast.
I'm going to
Exactly.
move up a little bit, and then I'm going to cast Chill Touch again against the remaining goblin.
All right, go for it. Chill him up.
I got to get that right at some point. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. And then Chill Touch.
Nice. Go ahead and give me a attack roll. Yeah, +2 to their armor class. What'd you hit?
I don't know. What did I hit, guys?
19.
You got a 19.
Nice. You definitely did damage. How much damage does Chill Touch do?
1d8.
All right, go for it.
Weird.
That rolled an attack again.
That was you,
Yeah.
Eric.
Sometimes you can click on.
what?
I tried the damage part.
If
Doesn't
you're
that-
looking at the chat window, I think you can click on the chill touch
Ah.
thing to do the damage. So
Yeah.
like,
Okay, let's try that.
So
If
where
you
it says
just
see it
click
says Chill Touch, the actual turns red. You click it and you'll do damage.
Okay.
So he did 3.
there you go.
All right.
I tried it, rolled max damage. Just to
And
see if it worked.
doesn't it have slowed movement speed?
I believe
Spell description. look at
yeah.
that.
No, it just can't retain hit points till next round.
Hmm.
The hand clings to the target.
If you're
It's
undead,
undead.
you
I
get
think
disadvantage.
Ice Ray is slowing.
You're thinking of the undead
Yeah.
version. That's really good. That'd be really, really good on undead.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, great. That brings us that was Colin who took out that sorry, didn't take him out, did some damage to that goblin. And that brings us to Gashar, the Dodger. Look, this Gashar's looking a little dodgy today.
He has been. All right. Well, since this other goblin's still up there, he's going to take another one of his darts and throw that. Yeah. So, what's the rule for doing a full attack? Can you still do two? Like,
There's
can I do
no
two things?
there's no full
thing?
attack. You can attack with an offhand melee weapon, but anybody
It's just-
can.
It's a disadvantage or something.
But no, you just don't get to add your strength.
Yeah, and it has to be light and one-handed.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if you could throw that without having that feat. So for this game, I'll say no, and then I'll check on it.
I'll just do the one.
Yeah.
So throw that dart.
But see, he has a
And-
feat, and it tells you that you can do that.
23.
All right, that's a hit.
All right. And 3 points of piercing damage. And then Gashar is going to run under the bridge as well. I know it looks like he's on the bridge, but he's not.
Yeah, I get it. This one was hit twice. He's kind of shaky right now. That is Gashar. That brings us to
Ooh, I
them.
see around the edge, actually, since I ran up a little ways there.
Oh, I'll reveal. Thanks.
Cheers. I guess I ran only. Is this still easy terrain here?
Yeah, as long as you're outside of the water.
Okay. If it's pretty open, he might keep going a little bit.
What in the heck is the problem here? Like it will trying to reveal as it will not hit that part.
Having user interface fun on roll 20.
Roll 20 is having a day today.
It's my brain injury. It's affecting everything.
It's getting everybody.
Okay.
Oh, so yeah, it does just kind of curve around, huh?
Yeah, that's where you go to.
All right, I'll stop under the bridge.
All right. It is their turn, and this goblin here, who has been hit twice, decides it's moving. It's moving away. It runs into the
Into
darkness.
the darkness.
Into the darkness. All right. That's its move. That brings us to Goblin's wins. That is now Hemo's turn. Hemo, you got this bridge next to you, kind of like 20 feet up. And you can go forward. It looks like the goblin ran down the passageway to the northwest on top of the bridge.
Can Wave call out?
Sure, you can straight out.
There is a way up here.
Oh. Hemo says, Geshar, we're gonna run around this way. Don't go too far. I think that goblin went this way, and he goes and tries to, I guess, climb the
Escarpment.
the.
Yeah, let me see what I don't know if there's a cost to that, if it's just considered difficult terrain. Let me check. That is.
Oh, actually, on the way there, he's going to use his action to cast Mage Hand and pick up the fallen dagger, bring it back to himself, and then go running up that way.
That is perfectly fine.
Or, I mean, maybe he'd just go pick it up. He probably needs an action to climb this.
Okay, you treat the area as difficult terrain.
Oh, all right. Then he does the extra silliness of picking it up with Mage Hand.
Okay, so are you going to continue farther? I'll reveal more of that area.
Yeah, Hemo is trying to chase down this goblin, so.
So you can see
And
that.
let's see let's see how much distance that was. 10, 20, and then it's difficult terrain from here, or?
Yeah, where you're at right now, it's difficult terrain.
Okay. So I guess it'd be 30 to be up here.
All right, I need you to make me a dexterity check.
Oh. A dex
Yep.
check or a saving throw? Doesn't matter.
A
I don't have
dexterity
proficiency
saving
in it.
throw. I'm sorry, dexterity. saving.
20.
All right. As you climb up, the loose gravel around you, kind of you're kind of climbing up. It's very loose gravel, and it literally starts like a cave in, like part of the gravel just starts rushing down this.
Hemo jumps up on the gravel like Legolas, defying gravity.
Yeah, you don't move; it just kind of falls under you. But you made your save, so you don't take any damage or anything. You don't take any damage below. It just kind of gave way. All right, that brings us to the start of the round, which is Waif.
I am going to move to this, and I will hide and follow Hemo up as he goes up.
You got it. Wait, that brings us to
Stealth of 14. Is that
Stealth of 14.
Not
All right,
great,
I'll note this on your character. Stealth of 14, perfect. And then that brings us to Finis. Gonna come trudging up the.
Yeah, he'll come trudging up the path. He's going to use his action to do dash so he can move farther.
No problem. It's considered difficult terrain when you get to this, when you get up to here in this area.
Go in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was here. He goes 5, 10. And then
In the water is
30.
too.
Yeah, he's running on the side though.
So let's say, okay. If I have 60, I can probably get to like right there. If it's about right.
All right. All right, you gotta come through that difficult. Can you use dash through difficult terrain like that? I don't know. If you
I mean,
can.
it just doubles your move speed, and
All right.
if
I
it's
won't
still
worry
10
about it
foot a
next time.
square.
But you come running up past him. The loose gravel has already been kind of moved out of the way, so you're able to run up there easily enough.
It says that if you if something would reduce your speed, like to half or something, then you have to count it for your second run action. But you're basically just saying you're going twice as far total.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Let me reveal a little bit more.
You wanted a deck save?
Nope, you're good.
Oh, okay. He's looking around with his dark vision, peeking out.
All right, that is finished running up the side, and that is Colin. Is your turn? What are you gonna do?
Colin is going to go to this point.
I don't see anything where it says I can't use both of those. So I got two invocations.
I don't know. I'm assuming it's fine. I'll take a look in the during between time, but I'm assuming it's fine. I've not looked in detail yet. So
Sorry, guys.
where do you want to move to?
If you do the click and hold thing, it'll do the little.
You
thing.
still, I think you're on ruler mode, so you might have to go to the little selector.
Ah, that's the arrow, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't want to go there.
Those wolves have been resurrected as undead servants, and now
I got you,
now
dude.
All right. I am just an idiot
where do you want to go to?
right here.
Oh, you're running up behind me.
Yeah, I'm going to go behind you.
Gotcha.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Perfect. All right. That is Colin. That brings us to Gashar. Gashar, what are you gonna do?
Well, I was going to wait for everyone to make it out of the passage and let us know if it's safe to go up that way. In the meantime, I think I shall stay here and guard in case they try to attack us from the rear. So I'm going to basically do a hide.
Okay. What's your stealth?
Stealth is that as an action, right?
Yep. Yes.
All right, so we'll do that, and then I'll have her. So I'm holding the. I'm going to set the torch down. I'll set the torch down, which is easy to drop, right?
Yep.
I'll drop that, and then hide, and I'll have the two. I'll have my quarterstaff in both hands, and you wanted a stealth roll, so there you go. It is a 12.
Okay. Thank you. All right. That brings us to my turn. You see this thing run to here
Oh,
as it's running past you. I'm gonna say that you're just a little bit too far out of range to do an attack of opportunity on him.
That's fair.
You're kind of below him a bit there.
Yeah, he's probably just pulling himself up over the little ridge, and he's just.
So as
running
you start
fast.
climbing up, you're just kind of like 4 or 5 feet away from you. See this little goblin come running around in the dark. You're still in the dark, but you have dark vision. But of course, you can see him. He just goes like a little rat running through. You know a few things about rats running through holes. All right.
Yeah, they hurt when they bite you.
And you hear the goblin yell something once it gets into the dark on the other side.
Hmm.
You don't
He
speak
turns back
goblin,
and he
so you're not
says,
sure what
"We
that
have
is.
more company."
Give me why don't have Finis give me a perception roll.
13.
I will say that 13 does allow you to hear that. You hear probably some movement down that tunnel to where the goblin went to. You think there's probably more than just the one goblin. You know, you're thinking that there may be more. You probably with just the general movement, you kind of feel there's more creatures down there. You know, how you get that
Okay.
feeling. You know, you kind of hear some stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, they are done. That is after they go. It is now Hemo's turn. Hemo, what are you gonna do?
Hmm. I guess I'm gonna attempt to finished climbing up this hill, so it's still
You
difficult.
don't need any more rolls. It's just difficult terrain. You just had that one buckling spot.
3 would be as far as I can go in difficult terrain, right? So
Yeah.
Let's see.
yeah, I can sort of get to the top before Finis, I guess.
All right.
Is
I'll
this the
reveal-
top? Oh, I guess I could step out here, but I'd like to try to be as quiet as I can.
All right. What you see here is you see a chamber. It's full of kind of a bunch of goblin type stuff in here. Let me give you the full description. This is a large cave, is divided in half by a 10-foot high escarpment. That's what you see to the south. You have to kind of go over there to see more details in it. A steep natural staircase leads from the lower portion to the upper portion. The air is hazy with smoke from a cooking fire that's been barely able to be seen. It's kind of doused, and pungent from the smell of poorly cured hides and unwashed goblins. You kind of can smell it. It's kind of like they're
Ugh.
living.
Yeah.
And that's what you see. So that's what you ran it, or are you done as a movement? Is there anything else you're going to do?
Not really.
Okay.
Do I see anything behind me? Where the goblin came from?
No, I can reveal the area. You see nothing more. I will reveal that area though.
Okay. Yeah, no, Hemo's gonna use his action to hide, I guess. As best he can. Maybe there's
All right, give me your hide roll.
roll a stealth, right?
Yes.
12.
Okay, that's Hemo. All right. At this point, you don't have any enemies around you that you're chasing that I see. So if you
Hemo's gonna
want-
point like up that escarpment to Tempor, like they're up there
Sure.
to Finis. Finis Tempor, is that his name?
Yep.
Yes, I love that name. It's a great name. All right. So just, because we have a lot of things going on in a narrow space, don't like everybody rush their characters at once to move, but you can kind of give me a general idea of what you want to do. If you want to gather at a certain point and wait for anybody,
What is happening up ahead?
you're no longer hidden.
You hear Gashar call out.
Finis looks up, down, and says, "She said no." I'm teasing. That's just kidding. Finis, you hear a kind of a muffled, kind of a echoey voice where Gashar has asked you that question.
He'll call back. We may have some cornered.
Hemo realizes that he's supposed to be the one cornering them, and he's like, "Oh,
Have you killed them yet? Would you like assistance?
We might as well regroup. There's an opening up here.
All right, Gashar, I'll turn around. What do you think, Colin?
I don't know if I
Drop
can I climb up there by you? I don't
It's
know
just-
if I can.
Yes.
It's just considered difficult terrain, which means that every square is considered 10 feet instead of 5.
Okay.
So he grabs his torch, picks it back up,
Sure.
walk up there, and actually, you know what? Since he gets up to the top of here, he'll just sort of toss the torch into that room. And once he realizes it's smoky,
what?
Okay.
Doesn't
toss the
affect your
torch there.
hide.
Yeah, I guess Hemo would try to stay hidden instead of.
I don't know
He's
if there's a
confused
way to-
though, as an elf with dark vision. He's like, "What?"
I don't have it. I don't think I can put a token there for me.
What I could probably do is put an item in there and then we can light that up. But let's just
Okay.
say it's lit for now.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
fine.
we'll just sense if you leave it there after the battle. you
All right.
can leave it there. All right.
Perfect.
See, I
So
don't
that's
think
what you
dark
do.
vision would be affected like night vision, right? You'd throw it
Wait.
in and then color would bleed in.
No. Yeah.
Wait,
That would
you
just get
you
more
went
colorful.
down that
There you
tunnel
go.
down there? You went down that tunnel over here?
Yeah, I'm
Colin, do you come up too?
I'm gonna come up.
All right,
I'm,
I'll
I'm
reveal.
sneaking over there. It's just-
Well, I was
so
gonna
I'm
go the
still
other way.
hidden.
You'll be able to see
kind of
down the rest of
back.
this.
across the bridge this way.
Well, we were
Because that other way looked difficult for the others to
It
climb.
was, but that bridge is 20
The
feet. up
bridge
in
is
the air,
20
though.
feet up.
Oh, I
Getting up
thought that's
here-
what you. That's what I asked.
Getting up to that
Oh,
room
Got it. No, we were.
is just difficult terrain. You
Yeah.
don't have to climb where we are.
Yep. You just sort of like grab a hold and climb up. It's not. There isn't even a climb check. It just slows you down.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll come across.
All right. Perfect. I'll
Whoops.
grab you if you
Yeah,
want.
Yeah, go ahead. Move me across. There you go.
Okay.
Have you played with dynamic lighting at all?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't want to do that because otherwise, when my friends use dynamic lighting, then I have to put approval methods on your moves. Otherwise, you can run into stuff where you're not supposed to.
Oh,
And that means that every time you're going to move, you have to ask request, and I have to say okay. So I didn't want. I just prefer to do it this way because it's easier.
That's interesting.
And it gets slows. I don't like it now because the problem is if I let it, you literally can take your character and run it all the way through the dungeon and see everything.
Yeah.
I can nothing I can do to stop you. So that means that it slows the game.
Sure.
down.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
just curious.
I think it's cool, but I think you have to have your players have to be either you have to have the approval method on or your players have to be very diligent and it gets to be kind of a pain. Anyway, continue. Who is going to do what?
Toss that torch in there.
You
What do
did
think?
that?
What do you think, Hemo? Should we go?
Hemo looks behind him, sees the party, and yeah, he'll attempt to sneak around to the right, sort of on the other side of those cooking fires, hoping the smoke will obscure a little. He
Hemo, give
draws
me
two knives,
pers-
and
Hemo, give me a perception check.
okay, 15.
All right, you hear someone in Goblin from probably up that embankment and deeper in. You can hear someone yell, a goblin kind of give a grah, grah, and then a human voice say, and you recognize this as the voice of Sildar. He says, "Don't come in, it's a trap." And you hear this kind of somebody like as if he's got punched or clubbed. This is a trap.
Hemo just freezes and goes and turns to the party. I think that was Sildar. He says it's a trap. He backs up a little.
Sildar, are you okay?
No.
Told you he's a little awkward.
Yeah, you can yell that. You have no response from that.
That's fair.
What are you guys going to do?
Clearly, we shouldn't go up there because it's a trap.
I mean, we've already been hit by a waterfall. How much more of a trap could there be?
It's chaotic good.
I guess mine is too. But mine's rapidly slipping.
That's all right. What do you want to do? You're standing out here. You heard this voices, and you heard a goblin voice and a human you think is Sildar say it's a trap. That
Hemo,
was muffled.
what if you negotiate with him?
He doesn't know
With-
the certain language.
With what?
Good point.
I don't speak
Swords.
Goblin.
Go up and kill them all.
All right. I'm gonna need
Wait,
some
what sort of
backup.
trap is this?
Hmm?
What sort of trap is this? Are they gonna drop something on us? Bashar starts.
We don't
looking.
know.
Sure, give me an investigation
Ooh,
check.
I like that investigation check. Man, yeah, 14.
All right, you look at the ceiling. It looks like it goes up quite a bit because this embankment's up there, so it's about 30 feet up. You see a bunch of stalactites
Dim light.
laying down there, and you don't see it's heavily shadowed up there. But
Maybe the stalagmites will fall on our heads.
it could happen. Or what do they call those piercers?
Ooh,
Those creatures, or fall
Yeah,
on top of you,
piercers.
and they're like cloak.
They had that
Or
in
cloakers?
Order of the
Is that
Stick
right?
recently.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. Where it drops in like it tries to eat you.
Yeah.
But it's like
It's probably or it could be a cloak.
he's like, you know how long took me to get up there?
Yeah, it's like
It's
like a little
climb back
crab.
up.
and you're like slowly.
All right, what are you guys gonna do?
Watch out for the spikes. It's all Kashar's like,
I was just thinking Hemo could just crawl below the 10-foot embankment to get to the stairs, right?
Sure.
Hemo's like, all right, I'm gonna get to the stairs,
Okay. Do it.
and then we're all gonna go at once, all right?
Okay.
This is a great idea. He gets down.
Finish
He
size,
gets
and he's
prone.
gonna cast Cure Wounds on himself.
He's
'cause he
stealthy.
needs the health.
Okay. You got. You have your stealth roll. You rolled already.
Just all your hit points. This is a great idea. I love this.
I don't have all my hit points.
Ooh.
All right. What are you gonna
Hemo
do?
pushes forward. He tries to crawl as quietly as he can
To where? Kind of put
to
your
the embankment.
Okay.
Like on the. He's
On the
trying to
edge?
like press himself into the embankment and get to the stairs.
Okay. All right. You're gonna
He's
try to
jumping
get
around.
to the stairs. Okay. All right. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to move yourself to right there.
To
Right,
right
there.
here.
Right there in this square. One more over.
This guy.
All right. Hold on.
Only option is to crawl. Well, if it's 10 feet up, could I like? I don't think I need to be prone for this, right?
Just sidling.
Yeah, because I mean, Hemo's not 10 feet tall.
Oh,
All right. As you do so, these goblins that were all hiding at an exceptionally high rate, I will say, as you come crawling through, they suddenly jump out. They suddenly jump out from behind all the stalagmites and little boxes and things they were hiding behind, and rush at you. And we'll pick it up next week.
oh.
Oh,
All right. So
Okay, I'm not prone though, right? Like I could sneak through that without being prone, right?
yeah. You're not really
Right.
prone.
He doesn't
I-
drop on his.
It's color.
It's,
So, but yeah, you're kind of sneaking in. All of a sudden, these goblins are going, ah, you're like, oh,
Well, that's
no.
what we were smelling.
Yeah,
We're actually in the room.
actually in the room. All right. So far you've investigated this outpost here. You heard probably Sildar is probably down there. Actually, you heard the voice, unless some guy has some
Yeah,
magic.
They got really good.
Really
Mimicry.
mimicking skills, right? Maybe it's a mimic itself, but it's a mimic of an audio, like a box that can speak. And come to this point only to find yourself in this trap, which is all of these goblins lunging at you all at once. We will find out what happens next
It probably wasn't the stalagmites after all.
time. All right. See everybody next time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep. Bye.